So, have you heard that Japan are using spider robots to clean up their sewers now? What about the theories of the mysterious crashed thing in the Baltic Sea? Or the policewoman that's been found guilty of misconduct after making up a story about transphobia? No? Guess you better stick around to find out. Oh, come on, where did I put it? On this channel, we look at legal cases and concepts, world domination, news, and just generally shoot the breeze. We don't give any legal advice, but we can answer questions and hopefully point you in the right direction. We do not shy away from the topics. So if necessary, put on your big kid pants, have a cup of concrete, and pull up a chair. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, or via email, and all complaints can be directed to our complaints department. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe buttons, and now let's get into it. And good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to today's episode of Law News and Laughter, presented by yours truly, Aussie Overlaw'd. So, audio not boomered. Minor boomer on the opening, and a slight delay there. But the biggest annoyance of the morning, just realised I left my coffee on the bench. You can tell the audio difference this intro since you mastered your stream sound quality. Really? Excellent. Very happy to hear that. Wouldn't be the same without some sort of fuck up. Yes, thank you very much, Excoma. Oh. Carpet on a bench? No. What? My coffee. I left my coffee. Coffee, people. Coffee. How are we all doing? I haven't actually, has anything mysterious or ridiculously important happened in the last 8 hours that I'm unaware of as of yet? Take you 30 seconds to go get it. Shit, you made us wait 11 minutes already. Go get the damn coffee. Let's just have a look. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything specifically important, which I think that might be. New Twitter drops. Yeah, at some point I'm going to actually just go through and do the Twitter drops in one hit. Has there been anything like hugely revelatory there, or is it just like more tea and dirt? Finally on the Discord, and you have no mods, so pin your link tree. It's a good point. A linkish tree. I should really just have this copied and pasted somewhere so that I can just hit it up every time rather than having to relink it. Also, in case any of the newbies are watching, thank you to the 60 new members or so that I've had in the last 2 days. Very much appreciate you taking the time to hit that link. For everyone else, please do your jobs and hit the like button and the plussy. Mostly Trump-related tweets. I think it's dirt tea. See, that's funny, Isabel, because I used to go to a naturopath and to sort of sort out my... don't blame me for it. It is what it is. And basically, she put together this concoction, and I swear to God, it was... Here, add 2 heaped teaspoons of this to some hot water and then drink it. It was fucking dirt. I swear to God. Alright, so throw the link tree in there. Yes, they gave me dirt, Isabel. Alright, pin. Now let's get ready to pin that message! Although I think I've already done it. Sounds like poison. No, look, to be fair, it did make a difference for me, but it was still weird as all hell. So, alright, let's move that. Hey Shade, how you doing over on Rumble? There's 14 watching on Rumble. 9 Rumbles have been hit. Lovely, thank you very much. Oh, running wild in the chat. Could be worse. Honey and hot water also works. Fair call. Nope, that's the wrong button. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Add that in. Move that across there. Pants are prison. Pants are very much prison. That's why I wear shorts. Nice. Anti-flux capacitor, my favourite fat man. What about Sean? Better than Kevin Smith. I should fucking well hope so. 90% of your body problems can be fixed with herbalism, diet, exercise changes, and professional field for such things is polluted with homeopathic nut jobs, making it hard to find actual help. I'm in no way disagreeing with that, noble weeaboo. I'm in no way disagreeing with that. Now, let's start with this one. Hear and hate Aussie Overlaw'd more than ever, you know what you did. And you know, if you know what I did, you know I did it from a place of love. Alright. G'day to everybody in chat. Let's have a look. Just see. Okay, people bantering back and forth, which is always lovely. I love that you guys can keep yourselves entertained while I still try and make sure that I'm not immediately boomering everything. Yes, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons for the channel. want the Aussie Christmas carols? That'd be very nice. Homemade sloppy joes. We always love sloppy joes. We're going to be ladies today? No. I've actually been awake, so... And I pre-planned some shit, so we're all good. At least I didn't boom with the audio, which is the main thing. The audio is the one that annoys me. Honestly. Yep, I think we're good. Okay. If Hayden were as thin as a rail, his face would still be fat. Derna, you're probably not wrong, to be quite frank. Had a tea once, I think it was hibiscus, but with some sort of grapefruity action. It was delicious. Said yesterday I'd start using my upload account instead of my fun account. Yeah, fair enough. Can't wear shorts that go higher than my knees for fear of falling out. Slow boomer. Shit happens. Shit happens, people. You get used to it. The audio sounds great today? Lovely. The camera adds 100 kilos. How many cameras are on me? Oh, and Rose is in the chat. There you go. There's a mod now, people. You can behave. Hibiscus is tart and flowery. Will make tea sour without something to sweeten it. And you don't wear shorts in public. Fair enough. I generally prefer to wear jeans in public. I'm not going to lie. Just to make sure that, you know, we don't have any issues. Hit the thumbs up like it's an emu carjacker. You 1000% sound like a proud parent. I'm so glad you can entertain yourselves while I'm busy. Okay. Alright, so we want the idiot that got suspended. That would be nice. What do we got going on in the world? P. Diddy's personal bombshell stuns fans. Designer kills stepdad over news screensaver. I think I've got that in Kinky Corner. I'll open it just in case. Major development in deadly plane bombing. Yes, we want that one. What do we got in the world? Do you have shaky leg syndrome? Yes, I do. I try to, like, not, but it just happens without me noticing, so feel free to yell at me to tell me to stop. Go, Shane. No, you can't make me behave. Fair enough. Well-behaved people don't make history. That is true. That is very true. I don't give an absolute fuck about P. Diddy. Yeah, fair call. Fair call, mates. Shorts only here, but then you have the one-eyed snake popping out to say hi when you least expect it. When exactly we'll be getting to Kinky Corner hasn't been scheduled yet. Yeah, we'll do it at the usual time today because I don't know whether or not I'll be doing a stream tonight. So, what are we? We're 16 minutes in, so what? 1 hour 45 minutes away. Checking your leg, it's healthy, it's stress relieving, and burns calories. Oh, well, there you go. What else we got? Cops warn Idaho killer could strike again. have a look at that. That's not the same case, is it? Catfishing cops... No, that's a different guy. Okay. 3 busted in massive AFP drug raid. Great. Sounds like they're doing work next door. Shake my leg too. My co-workers used to say, Levy's on his bike. Just double checking. Oh, got that covered. Got that covered. We talked about the 50 teachers, so that's fine. So that's out of there as well. I did actually skip over the emu story yesterday, and now we have another one in the news. So it'll be full of birds today. So, alright. Copy and paste these across so that they're in Edge as opposed to Chrome, because Chrome is a resource hog. And then we shall get stuck into some stuff, shall we? Rather than this being nice and boring. Although I probably could have at least played the background music. I mean, I give Mighty and Valhalla a bit of shtick about not having things to do while you know, not having like music on in the background and all that sort of shit. It's really a case of do as I say, not as I do. Amy, like that's a thing. Hey Darth Idiot, how you been? Philippines drug bust. Do I care about that? Yeah, okay, so that was by the AFP, so yeah, I kind of care about that slightly. Okay. Close that. I'm pretty sure I can close all that as long as I keep locals open over there. That should be fine. Move that across there. Alright, I think we are good to go. Right, I can actually... Oh shit, what happened there? What did I do there? And we just continue boomering. Alrighty. Okay, waking up naked in Manawatu field when the work party Christmas was in Wellington. Here we go. Someone got absolutely smashed. Waking up naked in a field in rural Manawatu when the Christmas party function was held in central Wellington. That's just one of the work Christmas party horror stories shared with Stuff by employment lawyers who also offer some advice on how to avoid starting the new year with an employment tribunal or worse. Hesketh Henry partner Jim Roberts said one work-do story immediately comes to mind. They had chartered a bus and taken the office and partners up to one of the vineyards. On the way back, one of the younger ladies in the office sat on the lap of her manager, and from there things got out of hand. This divided the group of bus down the middle with the harmless fun camp and the inappropriate behaviour camp. That seemed to escalate to pushing and shoving, then a bit of a brawl. By the time the bus driver had enough and pulled over, offloaded everyone and then rang the police. The police had apparently turned up and carted away a fair few of the company's management team. The managing director asked me what he should do. Roberts said that he was then started working through the usual patter of an employment process, but the managing director had a more pressing concern. He stopped me with, No, I don't want to discipline anyone. You are a lawyer, I want to know how to get them out of the police cells before Monday, otherwise we don't have a business. Roberts said a second horror story that sprang to mind also involved a vineyard. Everyone Stuff spoke to noted, unsurprisingly, that alcohol was almost always a factor. It involved an end-of-year function and a senior manager who preloaded. He got progressively louder and more obscene as things progressed. When another senior manager tried to intervene, the man was eventually shifted outside He then yelled, "I have been here before, I know what to do." He then promptly swung his arm and spun, punching himself in the face and dropping to the ground. As soon as he landed on the ground, he yelled, "Did you see that? He punched me," while pointing at the managing director. Unlike the first one above, this one did result in the employment process. For sheer distance covered, Dundas Street employment lawyer's partner Ross Webby may have the best horror story. This involves someone who woke up naked in a field in the middle of rural Manawatu when the function was in central Wellington. You good old crazy Kiwis. According to Google, that's around 200 kilometres from his starting point. That's what? How many miles? It says 1.6 miles, so 200 by... No, it's divided by 1.6. 125 miles away. Fair effort. They're not all funny stories, however. Inappropriate comments, sexual harassment, sexual assault, verbal and physical assault, and fighting. That's some of the sinister side of the work that Christmas do's that employment law specialist and barrister Catherine Stewart has dealt with. The vast majority of them involve alcohol in one way or another, she said. While inebriated, people may say or do things they never would otherwise, which can result in legal cases being pursued. Examples are a boss out of the blue declaring his love for his junior worker, or a worker starting up a false rumour about people in the workplace. The risk seems to grow in direct proportion to the amount of alcohol provided, and it is still relatively common for workplaces to provide unlimited alcohol at Christmas parties, creating a minefield for potential legal risk. Stewart said that incidents in the wake of work Christmas parties have spiralled into conduct investigations that can last months, involving enormous time, stress, and cost. The eventual outcome may result in disciplinary action against a staff member or even dismissal, which can be devastating for them. In the worst case scenario, this could all spill over into court proceedings, which might go on for months or years, affecting the morale and reputation of both the employee and the employer. It is not uncommon for people in these types of situations to regret ever attending a Christmas party in the first place. Webby said one way to mitigate potential disaster is for staff to imagine their clients, customers, or even the media being present at the bash. Also warning, alcohol does not tend to make anyone more attractive or less predatory. And if your colleague or manager tells you that it's best you call it a night, do yourself and anyone else you've ever likely either insulted or revolted a huge favour and head home safely. Stewart said staff should treat any event as a work event, irrespective of venue or the hour. She said employers should also be mindful of their obligations under the Health and Safety at Work Act. It just means taking care of common sense things like not drinking to excess, not engaging in sexually offensive behaviour, and not punching anyone in the face. It is surprising how many times these kinds of things actually do happen at Christmas parties and result in legal cases. Alcohol makes everyone more attractive. Not everyone. Not everyone. Yep, that's bull. Your cat ate a bird today? Oh, okay. Late in game odd. Well, there you go, Valhalla. How you doing? Thinking of making a video in the future where I'd like to show an image of you as an example as a lawyer for about 2 seconds. Would that be okay with you? Yeah, sure. Depending on what the context is. Do you want, like, I can send you a photo of me in a suit if that works. Otherwise, feel free to take a screenshot. It just depends what the... You know, so long as it's not defamatory, let's face it, that's all I really care about. Spam emus to make Aussie's worst nightmare. Woken up in an army officer's backyard once under his bushes. Found the specs hanging on my shirt. Good job. Hello, Jude. How are you doing? Where are we at? So, we have jumped to 68 viewers. Hello to everybody who is totaled in. Woke up on the roof of a friend's house and I hate heights. Holy shit. Nicely. Preloading must be like pre-coming. No. So preloading is pre-drinks. It's basically just sitting at home and drinking a 6-pack or a 12-pack or whatever to make yourself tipsy before you go out. It's like... when you're a cheap ass teen or like college student, it makes sense. When you're an adult, not so much. If you can afford to go to a bar, you can afford to get drunk while you're out there. Almost fell off when I woke up, rolled over, and was almost on the edge. Ooh, fuck! That would have been a bad way to start the morning. At this point, is there anyone not woken up in a field overreaction? Maybe HR is investing so much into its investigations to justify its budget. Look, altogether possible. I mean, let's face it, HR are almost always, irrelevant. I'm one of those people where I don't actually have a HR department specifically because I prefer to be very hands-on. I don't think I'll ever have a HR department because I prefer to do all my hiring interviews personally. I prefer to do all my investigations personally. If it ever comes to a time, knock on wood, that there's ever an allegation made against me, then I would be smart enough to bring in outside investigators. There's no real point in, But anyway, it ain't the alcohol, Darth Hideous. Because it would be simpler to just not go to work events. That's true. Fedorovsky also ate a bird today. What was her name? What are my thoughts on women voting? For you to buy a Kanye burger. Sean. It's a 3.5 hour round trip. Okay? And I'm closing my office soon. I just realised that today. Like, I didn't actually realise how damn close it was to the end of the year. There is like 13 days until Christmas. So basically just stop enjoying yourself. It could be dangerous. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what it really comes down to. It's really it's like a risk assessment situation where you got to work out, okay, is it beneficial, or can I get away with being this level of drunk at a Christmas party? So, I ate a duck, or at least most of it. I did share some of it. Oh, there you go. When I was in the army, I once got so drunk I mistook an MP car for a taxi. They tossed me out. I guess reverse psychology works. That's clever. Video will be titled, "Is the Devil a Lawyer?" Lol, but the reference to you will just be lighthearted, and I'll say straight after that it's a joke and that I like you and people should sub to you. I'm out in the public. I can't stop you. Go for it. And pre-gaming is what it's called in the States. Okay. Hands-on sounds like you need a HR department. Smart ass. Unless it was a pool at the bottom of the roof, then it would be hilarious. Well, it depends how high. Because, if you fall from a high enough position, falling into water is like hitting concrete. Hayden says H is H. I say H. What's wrong with H? In order to defame you, your reputation would have to be harmed, so how is that possible? Look, to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't give a shit about the reputation. I'd be more worried about someone saying that it's bringing the legal profession into disrepute. But it's probably not, so no. Dance by dance, go for it. That's why I'm on YouTube a lot. They put Dexedrine in my ADHD. They put me on Dexedrine for my ADHD and Trentolix for my depression and anxiety. It has helped. Oh, good. Okay. First rule of the Christmas party is to get HR smashed first. Been to plenty, and the police only got called to one, and only one had 4 fire engines. Oh shit. All is well and jolly now that the Christmas decorations are finally up. Oh, lovely. Okay. All large organisations are subject to cutthroat political games. That is true. That is true. And that's why I never really went into one of the, like, enormously large, what do you call it? It's not defamation. Are you seriously fucking arguing a legal point with me? What was I saying? Oh, fuck, now I've lost my train of thought. Haichu? Okay. Oh, fuck, what was I talking about? Yes, I never really went into one of the larger, like, the massively large law firms, because you're just a cog there. And they don't give a shit. You will literally work to the bone, you don't really... Oh, hello. Tim Pool's Yamaka Beanie didn't get diagnosed with ADHD until nearly 30. Can't believe Adderall to kids, holy sheet. Huh. Interesting. Thank you very much for your super chat. Claim Hayden is defamation proof evidence he's friends with legal advisors. Oh, fuck. Yes, thank you for reminding me that I was talking about large firms. Thank you, Ali. Oh, okay. Alright, moving the hell on. Alright, I didn't actually get to cover this yesterday, and I really wish that I had have. Okay, push for Attorney General to raise the age of criminal responsibility. This, I feel, is some bullshit. Australia is falling well behind a major UN recommendation, with advocates calling for the government to hurry up and make the change. The age of criminal responsibility will be considered by the country's Attorney General when they meet on Friday. The second Attorney General meeting this year, chaired by Federal Attorney General Mark Dreyfus, will also consider whether to release a landmark report advocates say the previous government had kept hidden. There have been long calls for Australia to reform its justice system and raise the age of criminal responsibility from 10 to 14, as recommended by the United Nations. The United Nations can suck it. When you have kids between the age of 10 and 14 committing murder and literally stabbing people, engaging in gang violence and all that sort of shit, no, they shouldn't just get a pass because they're under a certain age. Last month, the Northern Territory lifted its age of criminal responsibility to 12, while the ACT is in the process of transitioning to 14. I'll bet they are. Save the Children's 54 Reasons Chief Executive Matt Gardner warned that Australia risked being left behind on youth justice if states and territories didn't adopt a minimum age of 14. Why? What is the evidence to say that allowing kids under 14 to commit crimes that can be potentially heinous... And now I've just got the SUV theme going through my head. Where's the evidence to say that letting them get away with it under the age of 14 is going to benefit anyone, let alone society as a whole? Kids need more discipline, not less. The United Nations, legal and medical experts and children's advocate all recognise that raising the age to 14 is the absolute minimum we must do to adequately protect children's rights in the Australian criminal justice system. Bull fucking shit. While some states and territories have begun to act, they are not going far enough to address the issue that disproportionately impacts Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children. Oh, okay. So there's a racial and political aspect to this. We know what works. The research is clear. It's trauma-informed treatment and community-based alternatives to criminalisation, not locking up children. That's not... Oh my god. That's not the same fucking thing. Okay, hang on. The age of criminal responsibility is the age at which a person can be arrested, charged, and found guilty of a criminal offence. Hence, they can be ordered into CCO community orders. They can be ordered into intensive correction orders. If they murder someone, they can be put in prison until they're 18, and then their records get sealed. It is not the same as saying that it's locking up children entirely. Like, yeah, no, look, I'm not even for necessarily juvenile detention. I'm for, if necessary, having, like, rehabilitation and discipline enforced on kids if their parents aren't willing to do it, and these kids are going to become a danger to society. If a kid has gone out there, held up a store using a knife or a gun or some shit like that, I don't believe in just releasing them on the recognizance to their parents and saying, oh, it'll be right, and not having any record or anything that it happened either. Like, what the fuck? The National Raise the Age Alliance earlier this week called for Mr. Dreyfus and his state and territory counterparts to immediately enact a secret report's recommendation to raise the age of criminal responsibility. According to the Alliance, the report was prepared in 2020, but had been kept hidden. Mr. Dreyfus said that told the Federal Parliament last month that he had instructed his department to include the release of the report as an item for the decision at Friday's meeting. Change the Record co-chair Cheryl Axelby said kids deserve to be supported in their homes and communities. I don't disagree with that. Removing responsibility for criminal actions, I don't believe in that. And with the Aboriginal community controlled, strengths-based service, they need to grow up safe and thrive. Governments must be brave enough to put the interests of Aboriginal people, our children, and the safety of the whole community above law and order politics, and raise the age to 14, no exceptions. So what you're saying is, you want to change the entire system in relation to young offenders in order to satisfy a particular demographic and make life easier for them. Whilst I understand that Indigenous Australians have had a rough time, and that's putting it mildly, okay? I'm well aware of the history. I'm well aware that things continue to be bad. Fucking up the rest of the country in order to fix that isn't going to do it. Just saying. Spokesperson for Mr. Dreyfus said the government was working closely with stakeholders on the issue. The decision by the Northern Territory to raise the age to 12 is evidence of progress being made. This Friday's meeting will also receive a progress report from the Age of Criminal Responsibility Working Group. This working group is paying particular attention to addressing the overrepresentation of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children in the criminal justice system. Name one fucking group anywhere that hasn't had a rough time historically. Oh, wait. It's true. It's very true. I'm shocked that progressive politicians aren't trying that there. Well, we don't... Who says they're not? It might just not be publicised. 11-year-old bashed a man in a wheelchair, took his chair, and he got Zippo. Yep. That's what I'm saying. In today's day... So, the trouble is, as bad as this sounds, and this is a generational thing, okay? What I'm personally seeing in the difference between kids of the upcoming generation and what was even in our generation previous to that, they're more developed and advanced than we were at that age, okay? The current people that are in charge of all this shit, when they were kids, they were still playing with a stick and a ball, and they were rolling a wheel down the street and all that sort of shit. Kids these days have phones at like 6. They're more intellectually developed. They have more. They're exposed to more. They know what they're doing. They're more than happy because they understand what the outcome of their actions is going to be. If they go and rob a convenience store, they know that they're going to wind up with money to go and buy candy or toys or whatever because they've seen it on TV or because they've seen it on their phones or whatever the hell else. So, no, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. So if you're old enough for Prince the injury, you can be criminally responsible. Ruh-roh. Saudi Arabia, Iran, and South Africa voted and said Australia has a backward legal system. More spanky spanks? Yeah. Didn't even spell check the damn article. I must have skipped over it. Shit, I didn't even notice. My son got smashed in the head in first grade with a computer keyboard and the kid got nothing for it. Not in trouble whatsoever because the teacher didn't see it. Yet over here, people want to allow 16-year-olds to vote. The world is completely upside down. It's weird as hell, isn't it? This is for adult punishment versus kid punishment? No, so that's what I'm saying. What it is, it's the difference between the kids getting no punishment at all and no records, no nothing for even if they engage in serious criminal acts, versus them having a potentially maybe a juvenile record or being ordered by the court to do community work, community service, engage in rehabilitation programs to actually, try and make it so they don't engage in gang violence or anything like that. And I know that sounds extreme when I'm talking about, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. But I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be in a dark alley with a gang of 13-year-olds at this point. It's fucking scary. Pulling all sorts of knives and, baseball bats and all sorts of shit. Kids can be... think about it this way, guys. When you were in school, how vicious could the bullying be? Whether you were the bully, whether you were the one that being bullied, whatever. Add into a lack of, moral guidance. Add in a weapon. And add in influence from... I don't want to rail against TV and that, because I know that's not true. But, there's appropriate levels of... There's appropriate levels for what people should be seeing at a certain age, let's face it. You're not going to sit an 11-year-old down and let them watch hardcore porn. Or, a snuff film, or some shit like that, okay? Culture. Thank you, violence culture. Thank you, Darth Hideous. Yes. 16-year-olds nowadays is the same as 10-year-old 25 years ago. Might be going in the wrong direction there, Fedorovsky, but I get what you're saying. Never about protecting the rights of the law-abiding, it's always about protecting the rights of the criminal, since the state has higher control over the criminal than it does over the non-criminal. Bloody 8-year-olds are committing vehicle theft. How about holding the parents liable for the kids liable for the crimes under the age of 14? Maybe the parents will take their jobs more seriously. Jay, I've been saying that for years. So, look up the Slender Man stabbing in Waukesha. Oh, yeah, that shit. Juvenile reform programs exist because the environment they're in isn't teaching them discipline and morals. Exactly, but what they're saying is, under the age of 14, they shouldn't be forced to engage in those programs. Even if they've committed ridiculously, egregious crimes. And I cannot support that in the slightest. Okay, can we say that there has got to be something wrong with the people in Florida and Wisconsin? They're always doing some crazy shit, killing people, SA driving cars through parades. Oh, shit. And they wonder why adults are acting like children in their 30s now. Exactly. Needing a rackets. Made a meme of me where I've got a bulldog on my head. Okay. Who would be protesting for this stuff? People with bratty kids? Well, look, in this particular article, they're showing that it's people that are saying that Indigenous Australian children are overrepresented in the justice system, which may well be true, because they're not taught the same morals and values, presumably. That's not me trying to be racist or anything. I'm just saying, clearly there's something that isn't being, something's not translating there. Like, oh, you can't throw a stick at someone. When I say, I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Idiocracy wasn't far off. The people that shouldn't be parents typically are the people who are smart enough not to. People who are smart enough not to. Thank you for your super chat. Most community homes have a safe room in them to protect the household from other family members. Isn't that terrifying? That's the level that it's at? Wasn't Australia supposed to be a penal colony? Yeah, but, I mean, things developed and the country changed. Work camps work wonders, give them some skills training. So, like in the Loudoun County grapes, that kids' previous acts would have gone off the record. Yeah. People who shouldn't be parents often become teachers. That's a terrifying thought. Thank you very much for your super chat, in Exile. No, there's no accountability, and that's the problem. It's a good point, because when there is, I suppose it's the old adage: if you can't do, teach. So each case should be charged by the crime committed. Not disagreeing with that. Case by case basis. Everyone should have this. Doctor refuses to order Adderall. He said he's seen some bad side effects and won't order it anymore. He's picky. Well, Rose, if necessary, doctor shop. As horrible as that sounds, and that is in no way any sort of medical advice. That's just from a layman's perspective. I'm mistaken in my belief that the 90s gun restrictions made hunting prohibitive for the Aboriginal community. I don't believe so, because I don't believe that they were using guns to begin with, Durner. And I'm not sure what the actual requirements are for Indigenous hunting. I mean, I would need to look at that. But yeah, so what we're talking about is, at the moment, children under 10 cannot be arrested, summoned, charged, or found guilty of a criminal offence, because children under the age of 10 are considered too young to be held responsible for their actions under criminal law. If the child under the age of the criminal responsibility commits an act that would be a criminal offence if committed by an older person, such as assault or theft, there are various consequences, including the child being disciplined by parents or teachers, a notification being made to child protection that the child is being inadequately supervised or cared for, or the child being referred to counselling. So, nothing mandatory, no rehabilitation, no consequences for their actions. Okay? And they want to raise this to 14. Give them an extra 4 years of committing crimes. My kids' access thing's not allowed. I have a hammer to fix that. Can we raise the juvenile age to 40? Might as well at that point. Poll: how many 13-year-olds can Hayden take at once in a fist fight? I hope to God I never have to find that out. Eventually, it's just because I get bored. Kids can be scary, like they haven't been told how not to fight. Alright, skipping through. Sent me another DM on Twitter. Thank you, Australian Cattle Raptor. I'll have a look. Bullying, they tried to kill me. So much more needs to be done. In your 30s and you act like a child, so you resent that? Oh well, that to each their own. In my opinion, maybe if more children were offered more mental care and guidance, we could be trying to help before there's a problem. I'm not disagreeing with you, Jacob's Proud Marjorie, for that. I'm really not disagreeing with that. It's for me, it's simply a case of, if there is an issue, I mean, we all know that CPS across the board, across like nations. Internationally, CPS is an issue. They need to pull their fingers out. But yeah, look, mental care and guidance is woefully underfunded across the board. It would be nice if that could be fixed, but at the moment, I don't see letting them off scot-free without any consequences as going to fix this particular issue. Don't get me wrong, there are multiple things, as you said, mental care and guidance. I see that there is multiple things that could make a difference. But this is just going to make the issue worse, in my opinion. Look at where the community work confined in fencing to keep them safe whilst working. Seriously? They have to fence them in to protect them from the community? Jesus. Be a man, spank your kids. I'm in no way endorsing corporal punishment, but sometimes there are certain things, like, holding up a convenience store at knife point that may warrant some discipline. Had a friend in high school who was prescribed Adderall, stopped his heart a few times, almost killed him, so he stopped taking it. Damn. Kids should know that there are consequences numero uno. Damn straight. Post about 16-year-olds, 10-year-old thing was in reference to voting. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Gotcha. I mean, Hayden could definitely take more 13-year-old Ethiopians than he could take 13-year-old Americans, because Americans are fat. America. That's just classy, Darth Idiot, but yes. Hate to say I think I agree with you there. Well, there you go. Sometimes I do say some things that people do have to agree with. Sorry about that, Isabel. Our pastor had us take a son to a psychiatrist, I assume. At 7, he was put on antipsychotics and antidepressants. It was the hardest but best decision we ever made. More parents should do this. Linda, you should in no way feel bad about that. If that is what it genuinely took to get your son out of a sticky situation, then hopefully things are better for him now. But you do what you got to do as a parent. And you're the only one that can make those decisions, so don't feel judged for it, ever. Parents don't wear slippers anymore. Everyone used to fear a whack from the slippers. Not the same with Crocs. Oh, shit. Alright, moving on. Okay. Mystery of the crashed Baltic Sea anomaly. From UFO to Nazi bunker theories. A UFO, a forgotten Nazi bunker, an underwater Stonehenge. All of these theories have been used to describe the mystery formation in the Baltic Sea anomaly. Deep under the waves, marine explorers found an unidentified mound in the sea between Sweden and Finland. The Ocean Explorer team discovered the formation in 2011 during an eventful exploration. Sonar images returned and confronted them with a sight they had not expected. Bedtime Stories YouTube channel, in its video describing the event, said of the anomaly, there were clear lines and striations across its surface which almost seemed to resemble the layout of corridors or rooms. You look at this photo, tell me that... No, see... I generally, okay, there are billions of planets in the universe. I would be insane to think we are the only people in the universe. This, to me, looks like something came sliding in and it's crashed. I'm not gonna lie. That's what this looks like to me. But that could just be like a flattened out comet for all we know. And behind it is a 1,000-foot long runway that's been flattened out in the sand, seeming to indicate that the object had slid down to the point where it now rested. Divers from the crew, sent down to take a closer look, would find what resembled a series of steps and a domed compartment jutting out from the main body of the structure. It appeared to the divers that there could be tunnels or passageways beneath the surface of the unknown object. What they say happened next has continued to puzzle those who are looking for answers for the mystery. When the Ocean X ship looked like looked to take some high-quality images of what was on the seabed, the team ran into difficulties. Their sensors and photographic equipment failed on them when they were above the mound below. Sonar was blocked by mysterious electrical interference, and satellite phones had their batteries empty despite being only recently recharged. All this would fuel talk of what they had discovered was extraterrestrial, with the dome structure argued to possibly be a cockpit of a flying saucer. What a dome. Okay. Some reckon the anomaly looks like the famed Millennium Falcon ship from Star Wars. However, Simon Andrews, who wrote a 19-minute anomaly piece for Bedtime Stories, said the suggestion that an alien spacecraft had been discovered seemed wide of the mark. Studies of material investigated by Stockholm University showed that the material of the structure was made up of volcanic rock. As Mr. Andrews states, it seems highly unlikely a life from outer space built a ship from stone and from mined minerals commonly found on Earth. Well, just because they're commonly found on Earth doesn't mean that they're not commonly found elsewhere as well. I'll tell you what, those photos... But that's not to say that outlandish theories are not still out there. The fact that the electrical equipment was frazzled when deployed above the mount has led some to speculate whether it could have been a secret Nazi bunker. Mr. Andrews said some had pushed the anomaly as a secret military project by Adolf Hitler's Third Reich during the Second World War. I tell you what though, looking at that, it doesn't look natural though, does it? Like, those are some fucking straight lines. Proponents of the theory say it could have been lowered into the sea, designed as an anti-shipping weapon in the Baltic Sea in the Battle of Scandinavia. Less far-fetched is the idea that it could be an ancient temple or a now-submerged Stonehenge related to real-life Atlantis, a city now claimed by the sea. That hypothesis is not as out there as it may seem. Britain was once connected to the mainland Europe via the area now called Doggerland, but it was lost when flooded by rising sea levels in 6500 to 6200 BC. Away from the left field theories, scientists think that the answer may be that it was... they may have the answer to what the underwater formation is. Geologists have concluded that the Baltic Sea anomaly is leftovers from moving glaciers during the Ice Age, which carved out much of the Baltic Sea. In essence, it's nothing more than a glacial deposit. Oh, I'm not going to watch the whole thing on the Instagram, are you kidding me? Associate Professor of Geology at Stockholm University said, I was surprised when I researched the material and found a great black stone that could be volcanic rock. My hypothesis is that this structure was formed during the Ice Age many thousands of years ago. Because of the whole Baltic northern region, it is so heavily influenced by glacial thawing. Both the feature and the rock samples are likely to have formed in connection with glacial and post-glacial processes. Possibly these rocks were transported there by glaciers. A marine archaeologist at the Maritime Museum in Stockholm said a natural geological formation can't be ruled out. Look, it probably can't, but I mean, at the same time, like, I'd be more inclined to believe, like, that it was previously a temple or some shit. Because those lines there are very unnatural to me. But anyway, I digress. 100% the little grey people. The cubes off the coast of off Japan, that's true. Circular bit at the top, there's no way that's natural. Send your Twitter message, nothing important, just trying to reach out with help. Okay, cheers. Does it look like a plane? Jesus. But can intelligent species achieve interstellar travel without nuking itself first? Probably not. Probably not. How big is this thing? It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, if the thing... They haven't really specified. Sorry. Looks like a waffle maker. But I suspect, like, as humans, builders have existed way before we think we have. Haven't there been mass floodings? Haven't looked this up, so... In so long now, need Google Maps. Okay. Comets don't slide down, they're moving like 30,000 miles per hour and have enormous energy that explode. Okay, did I use the wrong terminology then? Is it like... I don't know. Throw some butter in there and make some killer waffles. I see steps. Yeah, could well be steps there. Giggity. All those electrical anomalies are the same as the ghost hunter's experience. At best, it's electromagnetism. At worst, it's equipment malfunction, unless you believe in ghosts. Hell of a large deposit. Hey, it's pretty thick. Got all of you following me around the place. Thanks for the company. Oh, really? Okay. There was something there that I missed. False. It's the door to the Hollow Earth. They just don't want to open it and drain the oceans. That's from Hydra, and New Captain America was based on a true story. Glacial boulders are pretty wild. Yeah, look, there's various things here. It could be any number of things. It's some kind of Australian creature. Yeah, no, I highly doubt that. Alrighty. Moving on. Policewoman guilty of gross misconduct for making up a story about transphobia. A policewoman who made up a story about transphobia in the workplace during a job interview for a promotion has been found guilty of gross misconduct. Disgraced Sergeant Sarah Srivastava was given a final written warning after she lied that colleagues had discriminated against a transgender officer and that she had stepped in to challenge their behaviour. During the misconduct hearing, the counsel for the West Midlands Police condemned her for bringing discredit to the police service and for undermining police confidence in the force. Just trying to help with the comet comment. I'm sure he was. I just have no fucking clue exactly what the difference between a comet and a meteor is. I think it's like one's hot and one's cold or some shit, isn't it? I'd just be interested because, I mean, if anything, like, if it was coming down or, like, moving in a... I don't know. I've only got movies to go off of. I don't know what the fuck it actually looks like when something like that hits. 200 feet in diameter. Damn. Okay. 200 feet. So it's not small. Okay, where was I? Read that bit. The officer was hoping to be promoted into the Serious Organised Crime Unit after 27 years of an unblemished service. But when asked for an example of how you would consider a range of values and needs when making a decision that affects a group of people, she panicked and claimed she had challenged a colleague who had made transphobic remarks to an officer and then got them to apologise. Her lie was exposed when her interviewer, a detective inspector, turned up at her workplace and insisted on speaking to the transgender officer directly. A panicked Srivastrava tried to stop the detective from escalating the case and warned that she had slightly embellished the tale during the interview, but after further questioning she finally admitted that she'd invented the entire story. The disciplinary panel found that she had breached the 3 standards of professional behaviour and was guilty of gross misconduct. Last night she told the MOS, "I regret lying, it was silly, I just got caught up in the moment." Is there actually more to this? She lied during her interview. What's the point? Okay, so no, there was literally nothing more to that. Why did I bother to open that? This one's a bit rough. And I say rough with a bit of tongue-in-cheek, shall we say? Prove it. Olive Garden manager fired for telling workers to bring in dead dog if time is requested. If off time is requested. A Kansas Olive Garden manager... Oh, piss off. Was fired for telling staff they would have to bring in their dead dog's corpse into work if they wanted time off to mourn a dead pet. That was just one of the things the unidentified woman ranted about in a memo to staff at the Overland Park, Kansas location. Sick and tired of people calling in sick or asking for a day off, she suggested that employees look for another job because management is no longer tolerating any excuses for calling off and will make them prove it. Lovely. If you're sick, you need to come in to prove it, began her list of demands. If your dog died, you need to bring him in and prove it to us. If it's a family emergency, you can't say too bad, go work somewhere else. She also suggested that those who only want the morning shifts to go work at a bank and threatened that they would be out of a job if they call in sick more than once in the next 30 days. She went on to say how she had never once called off, even when she was on her way to work and totaled her car, she still managed to get to work on time. Congratulations. Nobody cares. There are no more excuses, she wrote. Us collectively as management team have had enough. If you don't want to work here, don't. It's as simple as that. You're here and you want to work, then work. She continued, there's no complaining about not being cut or not being able to leave early. You're in the restaurant business. This comes at a dismal time for the restaurant and hospitality sectors, which are having trouble filling vacancies and struggling to return to pre-bug levels. I wonder why they're having trouble filling vacancies. She signed off by thanking most employees for their hard work. I hope you choose to continue to work here, and I think we, management, make it as easy as we can on y'all. She concluded, thank you for your time and thank you to all those who come in every day on time and work hard. I wish there were more like you. Darden, Olive Garden's parent company, told the outlet the manager has been since fired for her message to employees. We strive to provide a caring and respectful work environment for our team members, the restaurant representative said in a statement. This message is not aligned with our company values. We can confirm that we have parted ways with the manager. Okay. So yes, she wasn't just moved to another another restaurant. But do we honestly think that if this hadn't become public knowledge that they would have let her go? I doubt it. It's fake Italian food. Okay, well there you go. Olive Garden's gross. Yep. Talk about HR nightmare. Lovely. We the People University channel just dropped and video where a warrant for a pig has been issued. No freaking way. Are you serious? The People University. See, and this is why I need my coffee. Oh, shit. Sorry. Cop has warrant issued for his arrest. Alright, hang on. Hang on, people. We have some breaking stuff here. Let's have a look. Oh, this is going to play that loud music again. Hang on. There we go. Pause that. I'm not going to watch the whole thing.
Can I go there and mess with you while you do your job, sir? Oh, suddenly you're quiet. You were running your mouth all over the place earlier. Got to get something for your little... Oh, now I got your attention. Got to get something for your YouTube followers. Or is that your platform?
Okay. Who calls off for a dead parent anyway, not giving that a reason? Probably not should. Can't even get people to show up for an interview anyway. Had an employee demand paid bereavement leave for his dead guinea pig? Are you serious? A dead guinea pig. That's a new one.
Firstly, my name is...
Yeah, alright. I don't really care about the commentary. What I want...
For the assault that you're going to see in this video, I released it a few months ago. Ron has been hounding the state of Virginia for charges on this officer for quite some time. So
okay, come on, just show me the video then.
have a good day.
Do you know that sign right there is illegal according to Richmond City Ordinance 27-72? What was your name and badge number, sir?
Oh, this isn't
What's
gonna
your
end
name
well.
and badge number, sir? Don't walk into me like that.
Get out of my way.
You just assaulted me.
Again, I would just like to quickly point out, simply.
What's your name and badge number, sir? Don't walk into me like that. What is your name and badge? You assaulted me. You walked into me to get your drink. You walked over me. Turn it on. Run over me with your bike too. 27-72.
Law enforcement deserves better. Get out of his face.
They do deserve better. What's his name and badge number? Be professional. Be professional, sir. What is your name and badge number? Can't read it on the shirt.
There you go.
Nonviolent conflict resolution. Walking away from the conflict.
He's a police officer.
Yeah, and I see we the people and your little America shirt that you're all about. What are you, one of the side?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah, I mean, obviously, he shouldn't have walked into the guy. And yes, he's required to give his name and badge number, but I kind of feel like this guy's just being a bit of a dick, too.
Sovereign citizens.
So why is he not de-escalating?
He's walking away and riding away. Are you serious?
See, you're the problem. You would just need to get away from you.
What did it say, Shay? The dude videoing's irritating. What's a male Karen? I think they called it Ken.
You gonna walk over me again? You gonna run me over?
Is that an invitation? Why
Oh, he already did it.
Where's your scars? Big. Where do you work?
Oh, I don't really care. Yeah, okay, you're getting up in his face. Congratulations.
Big baby down the street.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
Don't worry about me. Man, I appreciate
Do is give your.
you started contact with me.
I asked you your name and badge number. That was the contact. I wanted to ask you a question.
What did you say, Sporkio? I'm all for fighting the man, but soft sit isn't the way. Oh, it's Darren, is it? Male Karen's a Darren. Hang on, what have we got? Yeah, see, when they said pig, I legitimately thought we were looking for in a restaurant for an actual animal. Volume's low on the vid. Okay, sorry about that. You just assaulted me. I got no idea. Honestly, this is the first time I've actually even bothered to look at this channel. But, I mean, they've got 357,000 subs, so I don't know. Walking directly into somebody could be assault, but he's harassing the cop now. Yeah, look, that's sort of where I'm sitting on the fence on this one. I'm not going to lie. The cop is clearly in the wrong because he's doing things that are wrong. That's the long and the short of it. But the guy's also a dick. Like, I mean, if I was being harassed like that, if I was not a police officer and someone was harassing me like that, I probably would have already fucking decked him. But that's just me. That's just my own personal opinion. Anyway. In New York, the guy filming would be arrested for obstructing an officer in his duties. Like, I don't care if the cop walked into him, fuck him. No, look, don't get me wrong. The cop needs... The cop did not assist in this situation. He should not have walked into the guy. That was, like, ridiculous. There was absolutely no reason for that, and it, like... I'd respect them if they actually defended freedom or protect and serve. Yeah, and that's... This, you know what this is? This is one of those am I the arsehole scenarios where everybody's the arsehole. Everybody in this situation is the arsehole. They're sovereign citizen idiots. Okay. When two arse-hats meet in their natural environment. This is how accountability works? The fuck? This is not accountability. This is being a dick. He took the video. He properly identified the officer in the video. I mean, yes, the officer has not given his name or badge number, but he's got video of him. He didn't need to keep hounding him. Like, this is not de-escalating the situation. I think he was trying to push the cop to do something far worse, frankly, in my own opinion. How dare he cycle away like that? Such aggression. If you let this slide, what's next? It's not letting it slide. That's what I'm saying. He's got him on camera. He has the whole thing on camera. This, to me, just more looks like it was for comment. For content. Call a male Karen a... How do you pronounce that? Okay. Kevin. No offense to Kevins. No, we can't call them Kevins. We can't call them Kevins. Kevin's the minion. Guy needs to back off, but the cop is breaking the law. Yeah, damn straight. And the chat's busted again. Of course it is. All violations of your rights are violations. Darth Hideous, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm saying that they were all dicks in this situation. Respect goes a long way, it's a two-way street. Yeah, but look, unfortunately, even in this situation, I still got to agree with Darth Hideous, is that respect is earned. But courtesy is free. I actually look quite like that from yesterday. Courtesy should be given, respect is earned. Officially, they only have to give their name and badge number if they're actually interacting. Well, arguably he interacted. I mean, A, he walked into the guy, but B, he was talking to him and that sort of thing. And then took the, took a photo of him and all that sort of stuff. I would argue that the police officer had to give his name and badge number in that situation. But, yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Maybe legitimate his request to the dick cop, but what a fucking drama coin. Cop only walked into him because he was trying to block his path. The guy blocking's the one in the wrong. Okay. Detective or defective? Cops are rude. Yeah, cop sees he's a crazy, just wants to get out the paperwork. Oh, shit. We're all personally seen to cops being dicks. The job of the police officer is to be a dick. These audit videos are usually morons looking for trouble. It's exactly what he's doing. He's provoking a lawsuit. Yep. Alright. I'm going to fucking move on, otherwise we're going to get nothing done in the next 40 minutes. Oh. Everyone needs to sub right now. I need to get Aussie to 10k. This dude's face is crazy. He looks like a turtle. Thanks for the message, Flux. I mean, you're putting the citizen... You're blaming the citizen for putting authority on blast. No! Darth Hideous, as far as I'm concerned, dude, I feel like you're blindly taking a specific stance on this, okay? You just crack open that mind slightly. Just ever so slightly, okay? I'm not saying that authority shouldn't be put on blast. I'm saying that this guy was being a dick and provoking something unnecessarily. That's not the same as not putting authority on blast. He had more than sufficient video to go and deal with this. He has pursued the police officer down the street. That's not the same as putting authority on blast. Just because you're happy to see someone in a position of authority getting taken for whatever the fuck this is, doesn't mean the opinion's right. I'm not so sure he didn't put the camera in his face either. Couldn't actually see that part. Yeah. Just an FYI, most states require officers to identify name and badge number upon request from the public. That would make sense. How many Aussies does it take for Australia to be a legitimate country? Achiro, if you ask any number of people that are sitting in this chat, they're going to say that there aren't any actual Aussies anyway, so it will never actually matter. They go to harass the post office people and record the post office, fully knowing you can't record in the post office, etc. They're just trying to piss people off and be dicks. If my tax dollars pay your salary, everything you do in that regard is subject to my scrutiny. I'm not disagreeing with that. I don't have any issue with it. Provided it's in official capacity, yeah. I don't have an issue with it. I think he was being a dick and the cop didn't want to antagonize him, so he just continued to do what he was doing. The guy sidestepped into where he was walking, they bumped. Yeah. That's not a citizen, that's a jerk. If you're that concerned, go report it. He went beyond what was reasonable and necessary. Australia's a myth. Thank you very much for the super chat. Aussie on point. There you go. It's a sob sit, not a real citizen. We don't know what interactions they've had before. This guy may have been harassing the cop for weeks. That's a good point. Very good point. Okay. Alright. Moving the fuck on. Might as well give you guys a bit of fodder for the, to laugh at us. Just because I didn't cover it yesterday. Australia's Emu War spawns a feature film, jokes and memes 90 years on.
Australia's iconic flightless birds became the focus of a national military mission in 1932. The so-called Emu War was depicted in this documentary from the 1970s. Farmers in the Campion region complained their crops were being destroyed by thousands of emus. Soldiers were deployed with machine guns, but their feathered foes proved elusive. The army was withdrawn after 200 birds were killed. In a second cull, soldiers destroyed thousands of emus before a ceasefire was called on December 10.
The Emu War ended when the 7th Heavy Battery of the Royal Australian Artillery was withdrawn from the field.
Ralph English's father managed a property next to the battleground during the war. He says the extension of this barrier fence provided better protection for crops.
When they had dry seasons up in the pastoral areas, the emus would just naturally migrate south. And of course, as soon as they come across some wheat or something in paddock, they thought they were in heaven.
Research by Meriden librarian Wendy Porter has uncovered little-known details about the battle, including two men...
Oh, hang on, I need to be able to bring up the super chat. Where'd it go? I believe this relates to the first one.
...who reportedly tried to pay their tax with dead emus.
Thousands of emus are doing so much damage to wheat.
She says talk of Western Australia seceding from the rest of the country contributed to the army being called in.
The federal government started going, oh, we actually need WA. So, oh, now they're having problems with the emus. Oh, we could do something to help.
There are now fewer emus on farmland in the Wheatbelt region. But the story of the Emu War is set to live on through a new feature film starring John Cleese. The movie, written by Australian comedian Monty Franklin, is due to start production here next year. In Campion, Sam McManus, ABC News.
Okay, so it's a puff piece because they're filming a movie about it. Matthew, yes, I have, and I want to do an entire, I want to do a proper video on that. Gotta get dinner started. Have a good evening. You too. Too many emus fucking with the farming. That's exactly what it was. That's what brought the whole thing on. John Cleese for the win. This may well be the last thing we see John Cleese in. It better be fucking good. Didn't you know that? Yeah. So there was the initial thing. They called the ceasefire, withdrew, tried to sort things out, went back in, got their asses kicked, called it a day. Wonder if they'll interview the emus. But did they use the emus' feathers to make cute hats for their uniforms? I have no idea. The bodies, I think they just said were used to pay bills and stuff, but anyway. There's an Emu War video game. Is there really? Didn't know emus don't fly. Why the anti-machine gun? Can't get over that. Yeah. Emu War 2, Flightless Boogaloo. Always just get one side of the conflict. Exactly. The history of it's been written by the victors. It was all written down and recorded by the friggin' emus. All hail the emu overlords. California interior designer Jade Janks allegedly killed stepdad for keeping nude photos of her. A butterfly activist drugged and strangled her former stepfather after finding nude pictures of herself on his computer, prosecutors allege. Thomas Merriman's body was found in January 2021 under a pile of trash at the Solana Beach in California home he shared with his stepdaughter, Jade Janks. The murder trial of Miss Janks, 39, an interior designer who co-founded the research non-profit Butterfly Farms, began this week in Vista Superior's court. She's pled not guilty to killing the 64-year-old Mr. Merriman, who prosecutors said died of an overdose of sleeping pills Janks gave him after she discovered the photos, one of which he reportedly used as his screensaver. Go up to the video. It's about Shania Twain. Shania Twain used to flatten breasts in order to avoid stepfather's sexual abuse. This was no accident, San Diego County Deputy District Attorney George Del Portillo said, according to the San Diego Union Tribune. This was murder by design. The photos were taken more than a decade ago consensually by Miss Janks and her boyfriend, authorities said. It's unclear how they came into his possession. Miss Janks found the photos while she was cleaning her stepfather's apartment, who had been hospitalised. She texted another man about giving Mr. Merriman the pills, prosecutors contended. I just dosed the hell out of him, stopping for whiskey, then at Dixieland to stall LMK. Miss Janks allegedly texted the day she picked Mr. Merriman up from the hospital, according to Mr. Del Portillo. Miss Janks seemed to second-guess her plan in another text message the prosecutor shared. He's waking up, one text read, according to NBC San Diego. I really don't want to be the one to do this. I'm about to club him on the head as he is waking up. Miss Janks eventually called another person for help, said prosecutors. That person called the authorities the next day. Deputies then searched the home and found Mr. Merriman's body under a pile of boxes, blankets, and other trash as they were leaving. Was she just expecting the garbage guys to just pick it up the body and not say anything? Like, what the hell? Deputies then searched the home and found attorneys for Miss Janks argued she did not kill Mr. Merriman, who instead died from poor health and his own cocktail of drugs. You will not find any evidence that he was strangled to death, Miss Janks' attorney, Mark Carlos, told the jury. Okay, let's break this down. He somehow gets a hold of curbside body removal. Oh, God. You're on her side, not guilty. Look, it's creepy as fuck, okay? Let's break this down. She makes consensual porn photos when she's 29 that she gave to somebody else. Somehow, those photos have wound up on her stepfather's computer. We have no idea at what point in the last 10 years, not that it really makes it any better. Because he's dead, we have no idea whether or not the photos were stolen or they were given to him consensually, presumably by the partner, possibly, or if he got them off her phone. Either way, it's still not looking good. She then proceeds to kill him because he has the photos? Bring out your dead. Thank you very much for the super chat. Why was she still living at home when she's a 39-year-old? It's a damn good... Well, I don't think she actually was. I think she was looking after his property whilst... Oh, hang on. The audio is really high still, isn't it? Because I haven't actually bothered to bring that down. My sincere apologies, people. I boosted it for the video and forgot that I actually need to change it for my own voice. I'm not dead yet. The old man has money. Quite possibly. She could have given him them. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like, this is just... There's a lot here to unpack, and some of it's very friggin' weird. Either way, I don't know that it warrants murder. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fucking creepy, but I don't think it warrants her murdering him. What activists do butterflies need? Like, who's out there murking butterflies? I saw Shania Twain breast and had to say something. Oh, fair enough, okay. Moral of the story, don't take naughty pics, you never know who will find them. No, look, okay. Ladies, and to a lesser extent gents, because generally when we take photos, it doesn't apply. If you're going to take those sorts of photos, never, ever, ever put your face in the photo. Or better yet, just go on the internet, find one, cut the face out, and send that, and pretend that it's you. Didn't the stepdad take the pictures of her and the boyfriend could have a copy? No. The story says that she made them consensually with the partner 10 years ago. The stepdad wasn't involved in the making of the photos, as far as I'm aware. Based on this, hang on, where was it? Where'd it go? What was that? Is it fair to say she got butterflies trying to kill him? That's terrible. But thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, where the hell? Discovered the photos. No exit. Photos were taken more than a decade ago, consensually by Miss Jenks and her boyfriend. Yeah, so her and her boyfriend at the time took the photos, and somehow they've wound up in his possession. She looked non-murderous back then. It's a pretty picture, yeah. So, I mean, look. It's I don't know. Is what he did illegal? I don't necessarily know that it is. Or at least I don't know that there's enough there that you would be able to convict him. Because either way, you would need to prove that he obtained them legally. I mean, potentially if the boyfriend handed them over, then we're looking at potential revenge porn. But no, I mean, even if she'd reported it, oh, he had explicit photos of me, it's not necessarily a crime. Yeah, I don't know. Being creepy is not in and of itself illegal. Exactly. So, she didn't really have any sort of legal recourse, but again, I don't think murdering the sick fuck was a appropriate thing to do. Maybe she put the photos there to justify the murder. We may never know. She clubbed him as he was waking up after giving him pills. There's no evidence of strangulation. She had no business looking through his photos. Well, to be fair, one of the photos supposedly was used as a screensaver. That's not exactly the smartest fucking thing to do either. Back to Naked Shania. Butterfly Farm sounds like the name of a softcore porn site. It's creepy, but unless he was abusing her, I don't know, to be honest, at least if they were public photos. Oh, I don't know. We may never know. So, anyway, moving on. China angered over new Australia-US military plan. People still use screensavers. Yeah, apparently. Literal sick fuck. Look, quite possibly. What was she doing looking at his PC at all? It's a damn good question, Fedorovsky. It really is. I mean, she was in his private space, his own personal space. I mean, like, that's how everyone wants their bob haircut to turn out, but it never does. Maybe he got them from her OnlyFans. Okay. China angered over new Australia and US military plan. The US Army is moving hundreds of heavy vehicles across the Pacific. US Air Force bombers are increasing visits to Darwin. Now Washington and Canberra want to invite Tokyo to join a joint display of military strength across Australia's top end, and that's upset Beijing. Diddums. People have always described Canberra as Washington's deputy sheriff in the Asia-Pacific region, but now Australia is actually playing the role of a spearhead in some scenarios, a senior Chinese Communist Party academic stated in response to the news coming out of the annual Australia-US ministerial talks, Osman, this week. And Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Miao Ning... Miao-ning? Good meowing to you. Okay, I can't be that rude to the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson, denounced the alliance for stirring up division and confrontation and undermining regional peace and stability. Are you fucking kidding me? That's stirring up... You're trying to physically enforce possession of the South China Sea, but Western nations moving into the area is stirring up division and confrontation. That made me laugh more than it should. I know, me too. It's unpopular and has no market. Probably not for you. But People's Republic of China combat aircraft continue to probe the skies around Japan, Taiwan and the Philippines, and its navy and militia are attempting to enforce possession as 9/10 of the law in the South China Sea. That's why the US and Australian governments have resolved to expand naval, air and troop infrastructure across Australia's northern approaches. They've decided that the US military stores, fuel and ammunition would now be pre-positioned at Australian bases, and Japan would be invited to join in. A sign of things to come is already underway. The US Army has begun testing its ability to ship heavy military equipment across the Pacific. The enormous USNS Watson delivered hundreds of Army pre-positioned stock vehicles to Hawaii last month. But this was just the first step in Operation Pathway, a logistic exercise that extends through the South Pacific to Australia. We're putting hard capabilities in these countries with our partners, the US Colonel Charles Green told the media. On the posture side, it's establishing some infrastructure and support that if we were to have to do this in real world, we would be able to execute. Commandant of the US Marine Corps, General David Berger, told reporters this week that everybody around this table should not be comfortable with where we are at the rate at which we're moving. It was his job to be worried, just as it's the job of Beijing's wolf warrior diplomats and academics to criticize anything that is not in China's interests. Thank you for someone saying that out loud. The US is calling black, white. What? The US is calling black, white by hyping China's dangerous and coercive actions, and the real intention is to reinforce its Indo-Pacific strategy and contain China, the Chinese Institute of International Studies Deputy Director Zhang Tengjun told the Chinese Communist Party's Global Times. That explains why there's a typo in there. Totally legit fishing boats. China. Such cooperation aims at creating an Indo-Pacific version of NATO, the ultimate goal of which is to serve the US global hegemony. But Beijing's actions are proving louder than its words, with Washington keen to talk tough. You got a whole bunch of dynamics out there that are making it extremely difficult for good, sound, sensible foreign policy to prevail, said former Australian Foreign Minister Gareth Evans to the Australian National University's Professor Rory Medcalf. There's an urgent need to restore the commitment to cooperative security to addressing the big existential risks issues that we are now so accurately conscious of, and doing it in a way that makes the world rather safer and saner and less dangerous than it appears to all of us at the moment. On the one hand, the US's first island chain strategy cannot sustain its logistic intentions, so the US wants to avoid suffering huge losses by not deploying all of its forces there. On the other hand, it has eyes of building a frontline military base in areas like Australia and Guam, Song told the Global Times. Interesting that the Chinese are so intent on analysing the military movements. I mean, I know I'm being facetious here, but still. He was referring to the vulnerability of the major US bases in Japan to overwhelming missile attacks and the need for a second line of defence. The US Defence Secretary Lloyd Austin told a joint news conference with Australian Defence Minister Richard Marles that the US would expand the number of bomber and fighter aircraft based in Australia and increase the US Army and Navy presence. They added Japan would also be invited to use the facilities as a united front against China's dangerous and coercive actions throughout the Indo-Pacific. When you're about to partake in World War III, troop movements are good to know. So, what do we got? What are we looking at? Okay. One of the main messages to come out of Washington talks was the need for agile logistics. Put simply, this means the capability to quickly move equipment, ammunition, and supplies to where they are needed and to maintain them once they're there. While details are scarce, a joint communique refers to upgrading Australia's 3 bare bases. These airfields, RAAF Schreiger in Queensland, the Learmonth and Curtin in WA, were built in the 1980s with minimal facilities and no permanent presence. They've only been activated during occasional war games. Now their parking aprons will be enlarged, barracks expanded, and new ammunition and fuel dumps installed. So they'll be ready to go, basically. Should Japan be allowed to have an unrestricted military now? Look, provided they're on the right side. I mean, I'd want some serious safeguards put in place. I love how they... I mean, I know that this is all public knowledge and everything, but these are all the military bases around Australia. I should point out that those are not all of the major military bases as well, because I'm noticing a distinct lack of certain ones as well. Point of no return. It's easy to fall down. It's much harder to come back, former ambassador to Australia, Fu Ying, told the UTS Australia-China Relations Institute on Wednesday. Australia's participation in the US-led tripartite security alliance AUKUS gives rise to doubt amongst the people in China about its reliability as a cooperation partner. We're a little bit sick and tired of the whole being forced to cooperate with China anyway, so I don't really have an issue with that. She was referring to the recent high talks between Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Chairman Xi Jinping, which sought to normalise relations and end punitive sanctions against Australian exports. Maybe we find somewhere else to export to. Maybe we work on manufacturing returning to our own shores. Maybe, just maybe, we look after our own interests first. But anyway, I digress. On to our second emu story for the day. Outback pub emus rediscovered after being banned from the Yaraka Hotel.
Hello? Hello, beautiful girl. Hello, beautiful girl. Hello. Did you miss your mummy? Hey? Did you miss your mummy? Oh no, you missed your mummy.
Okay, at least put the camera on the emu.
Good girl.
Please attack. Please attack.
Good girl. Cuddles. Cuddles. Kitty.
Oh, for God's sakes. Drunk chicks just want to have fun. It sounds awfully close to Make America Great Again. Careful, Aussie, sounding real Republican there. A pair of celebrity emus that vanished after being banned from the Outback pub for bad behaviour have been rediscovered, and they have multiplied. Yaraka is a small red dirt town with a population of about 20 and 2.5 hours south of Longreach in Queensland. It has a church, a police station, a caravan park, a school and a pub that shot to international fame in 2020 due to its hardline stance against two strange visitors. The Yaraka Hotel was forced to barricade the pub's entrance in order to keep Kevin and Carol, the emus, out after they developed a taste for the taproom hospitality. The emus had been targeting tourists and pinching food, drinks and car keys and leaving behind a trail of destruction. But now they're back. A full-grown adult emu can weigh up to 60 kilos, which equates to roughly the same poundage as 150 well-fed pigeons. If you consider that kind of mess one pigeon can cause, it stands to reason that the droppings caused by one well-fed emu would be something akin to a bombardment. Leanne Byrne says it was a back-end blitzkrieg that pushed Kevin and Carol beyond the realm of cheeky punters and into full-blown public nuisance territory. Miss Byrne is known as in the town as the Mother of Dragons, a reference to Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, who hatched 3 dragon eggs. Kevin and Carol were inside 2 of 9 eggs, which were given to Miss Byrne after some blokes discovered an emu nest while pushing scrub. She wrapped them in an electric blanket and they all hatched. Sadly, only Kevin and Carol made it to adulthood, with truck and car collisions claiming most of their siblings. Are you serious? What? If you're going to hand raise them, at least make sure that they avoid cars, for fuck's sake. You want mechs as in Gundam? Well, I suppose it's one reason to allow the allow Japan to have unrestricted stuff. Oh, I just realised I skipped over the chat while I was reading that Japan thing too. Sorry, guys. Sorry, the military stuff. Just making sure I didn't miss anything overly important. Yeah, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? Let Japan have armies and nukes. Australia needs to keep the top on. Damn straight. Bring out the machine gun, boys. Yeah, they'll probably miss, and the third Emu War will be an absolute travesty. That's a bit of a joke. Okay, moving on. What do we got? We got 10 minutes, people. 10 minutes. Spiderbots aim to clean and fix sewers in Japan.
These spider bots may be the answer to Japan's dirty sewers. This Japanese robotic startup recently announced they've developed the SPD-1 robot, specifically made to inspect the country's aging sewage system, as the industry grapples with a labor shortage. The company's CEO says many sewer pipes are near the end of their 50-year lifespan, but someone or something needs to inspect and maintain that system. Wheeled bots are currently doing the job, but they can't move across certain areas and surfaces. SPD-1 is lighter than most bots that already do the job at just over 7 pounds. It also has a 360-degree camera system and 8 legs, which allows it to move easier. SPD-1 is still just a prototype, but the company is planning to put it on the market in the spring of 2024 for just under...
Is this just their way of trying to make it so that robots are, like, commonplace in society? Like, I'm getting serious, like, Ghost in the Shell vibes a little bit. All those damn people and there's a worker shortage? Yeah, apparently. Can you imagine being on the toilet and that comes out of the pipes? Dear God. Sounds like a shitty job. Robot lives matter. San Fran to use the bots that can kill Robo Police. What can go wrong? Oh, yeah, that shit's not right. No. Maybe you guys should be breeding emus as a civil defense force. I'm pretty sure we're just allowing them to run rampant on their own in the, like, outback, so that if anyone winds up out there, they're not going to know what hit them. Skynet, yep. How do they stop the sewer goop from building up? It looks like they must, like, I don't know, suck it up or something? How long until Japan has stories of people having robots crawling up their ass? As opposed to the, like, sex bots that are already... Yeah, okay, I'm not going there yet. We've still got another 10 minutes before Kinky Corner. Robots are already commonplace in cruise ships such as bars and such. Really? Just another thing to spy on us. Pretty sure the 1% will kill other 99% when the robots can do our shitty jobs. You have 5 seconds to comply. That was terrible. Emu bot time! Oh, God, that could be interesting. When the robots ultimately rise up, they'll remember who gave them the shitty jobs. Robot tentacles taking organic tentacle jobs. The Super Roomba. Alright, I think that's enough of a pause in there.
$44,000. The package would likely include 3 robots, a controller, and a screen to play back videos the device recorded. For now, the bot can only inspect sewer pipes, but developers hope they could get it to carry out simple sewer pipe repairs. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Stephanie Officer.
Oh, there you go. The shitbot. Yep. Robot has monkeypox. Bet they don't work. Oh, could you imagine being the poor bastard that has to go into a sewer tunnel and follow after one of those robots? Ugh, smells like shit down here. And the robot's malfunctioning? Oh, fuck! You do know Dallas has used robots with guns for 10 years. Used once, watched Donut Operator's video about it. Are you actually serious? Like, I didn't think robot stuff was that advanced yet. Like, I thought that they'd only just sort of... The robot starts spewing sewage everywhere. Yeah, can we not... okay, if we're doing these sorts of things, if we're making robots that are working in sewers and shit, can we not anthropomorphize them? Oh. Can we not make them look human? Fire any council people that vote for those. Guess if you constipated, the robot could fix it. Used to be scared when I was little of snakes coming out of the toilet. Oh, yeah, that shit's not great. That shit's not great. A remote-controlled car with a gun is not a robot. Do you know there's a person controlling the robot? Then that's not a robot. That's remote control. That's different. Oh, actually, no, because now we're getting into semantics between robots, AI, and machinery that can act on its own accord. Boston Dynamics is just now getting working prototypes functional. 10-year-old tech already used, even once, is highly unlikely but not surprising. Oh, there you go. Robot with a gun is piloted, so not really a robot, more like a drone. Yeah, okay. Is a Tesla technically a robot? No. I don't believe so, no. Sun programs the robots at his job, but does not control them. Okay. Just want to double check. I'm pretty sure I covered the headline stories, which is fine. Oh, hang on. There was big news about the... Where is it? The alleged Lockerbie bomb maker in US custody, says Scotland. A Libyan man accused of making the bomb that destroyed a Pan Am flight over Scotland in 1988 is now in US custody, according to Scottish prosecutors. Abu Agila Muhammad Masood... I probably butchered that, was charged by the US 2 years ago for the Lockerbie bombing. He had previously been held in Libya for his alleged involvement in a 1986 attack on a Berlin nightclub. Only one individual has so far been prosecuted for the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 on December 21, 1988, which claimed 270 lives. Former Libyan intelligence officer Abdelbasit Al-Mamet Al-Magari spent 7 years in a Scottish prison after his conviction in 2001. He died in Libya in 2012 after maintaining his innocence. The family of those killed in the Lockerbie bombing have been told that the suspect, Abu Agila Muhammad Masad Kir Al-Marimi, is in US custody. A spokesperson for Scotland's Crown Office and Prosecutor Fiscal Service said, Scottish prosecutors and police, working with the UK government and US colleagues, will continue to pursue this investigation with the sole aim of bringing those who acted along with Al-Magiri to justice. There was no further information given on when Masood was handed over, and his fate has been tied up with the warring factions of Libyan politics. He was kidnapped by a Libyan militia group, according to reports last month cited by the BBC, following his detention for the Berlin attack, which killed 2 US soldiers and a Turkish citizen. Masood was reputedly a leading bomb maker for the Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi. According to the US indictment, he assembled and programmed the bomb that brought down the Pan Am jumbo jet. The investigation was relaunched in 2016 when Washington learned of his arrest after Gaddafi's ouster and death in 2011, and his reported confession to involvement in the new Libyan regime in 2012. However, the Libyan connection to Lockerbie has long been disputed by some. In January 21, Megrahi's... I can't fucking pronounce it. His family lost a posthumous appeal in Scotland against his conviction following an independent review that said a possible miscarriage of justice may have occurred. The family wants UK authorities to declassify documents that are said to allege that Iran used Syrian-based Palestinian proxy to build the bomb that downed Flight 103. In that narrative, the Lockerbie bombing was retaliation for the downing of an Iranian passenger jet by a US Navy missile in July 88 that killed 290 people. He looks like terrorist Tony Stark. Kinda. The San Francisco Board of Supervisors voted 8-3 Tuesday night to approve a controversial policy that would allow police to deploy robots capable of using lethal force. Yeah, but are the robots remote controlled, or do they act independently? How about the robots and animatronics like at Disneyland on the rides? Would you count those as robots because officially they're robotic, they're not controlled by people? Yeah, I would consider them proper robots if they're not controlled. They have their own software package inside them. But I mean, presumably they have minimal coding, wouldn't they? If the car can drive itself, it's doing the work itself, right? True. I mean, for me, the main thing that describes it is whether or not something is fully autonomous. If it requires any sort of input or control from the outside by a human or anything else, then I would consider that a drone as opposed to an actual robot. I think there may be an argument that Tesla is in fact a robot. Go watch Donut's video about it. It's funny and informative. Dallas used their robot to kill that guy who ambushed a bunch of cops and barricaded himself on campus. They blew him up. Right. Run the emus through the sewers like feather dusters. I think I'll keep my feet on the ground. Thank you. Too many crazies out there. Terrorist Stark was able to build a bomb in a cave with a box of scraps. That's terrible. Funny, but terrible. They gave him 7 years for 240 counts of premeditated murder. Are we sure that they had good evidence? It's a damn good question. Robot comes from the Czech term for forced labour. The more you know. Leave the bots to the Aussies, won't know if it bites, stings or spits. Michelle Jackson look alike? Yeah, okay. Andy Samberg if he wasn't weird. If Chuck E. Cheese is a robot, so is a Tesla. That's a good point. Basically, they strap weapons to bomb disposal robots and use them instead of risking lives. Interesting. That's really interesting. Alright, so we've just crossed over the 2 hour mark. So guys, what I'm going to do is Laws of the Land. So do not go away, people. We're going to do Laws of the Land, and then I'm going to go straight into Kinky Corner. Alright, and today's number is 131, so we're going to need an up or a down, people. We got 1 up, we got, oh, hang on, we got 2 down, 3 down, 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 prices are down. Alright, 82, 26, 128. Alrighty. Make a poll, you boomer. Takes too long. Alright, we are heading to 1848 with the Field Code. David Dudley Field, 1805 to 1894. It's all about the rules. That's what any lawyer worth his or her fee will tell you about the practice of law. Entry to the bar has rules, the trial court has rules, the appellate court has rules, the surrogates court has rules, the family court has rules, forget about possession, rules are 9/10 of the law. But the ubiquity of procedural regulation in court wasn't always so. Until nearly the middle of the 19th century, most states maintained 2 types of courts. Courts of equity for cases seeking non-monetary relief, and courts of law for cases seeking monetary damages. Forms of action dictated procedure in the one, and common law pleading in the other. Then, in 1846, the New York state eliminated the courts of equity and created a singular Supreme Court with jurisdiction over matters of both law and equity. The next year, David Dudley Field, a successful trial lawyer, who for years had advocated for legal reform, was appointed to a 3-member commission charged with simplifying New York's laws of pleading and procedure. Field's goal was simple. He sought to completely codify the common law. In a biography of his brother, published in 1898, Henry Field noted that above all professional and political ambitions was the reform which he undertook in his early manhood, which filled up the measure of his days till he breathed his last. That was really... They didn't need to say that like that. In 1848, the state adopted the Commission's recommended Code of Civil Procedure, known almost immediately as the Field Code. Legal scholar and historian William LaPiana has described it as one of the greatest changes wrought on the common law in the 19th century. Field sounded a standard call from reformers in the 19th century common law world. A dispute that can be settled in the courts should be settled in one action, initiated by pleadings that told as simple as possible what had happened, brought before a single court capable of giving all the relief appropriate. His field code became the foundation for most modern-day codes of practice, including the 1938 Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. And that was today's Laws of the Land. What was that? Yeah, we'll do karaoke at some stage. Early manhood. New York Supreme Court's at the lowest level of court in New York. It's confusing. Can't say I'm shocked. Lawful land. Okay. Alrighty. Let's do a diss. Where's it gone? God damn it, just give me 2 seconds, guys. I've got the wrong page open. Where'd you go? For some reason it doesn't want to play nicely with me today. Back just in time. Well, there you go. Okay, there we go. Why is my computer stuffing up so bad? I mean, I can close the other one, so hopefully that'll clear up some memory, but what the hell's going on? I don't think it's going to be the chat. Something is chewing up all my memory, people, and for some reason it's not moving. Anyway, okay. Can't control myself. Aussie bare knuckle fighter Ty Emery may flash again. Ty Emery celebrates stunning KO victory by flashing the crowd. Of course, is an ad. Downloading my hard drives. Oh, is that what's taking so much effort? Thank you. You like boobies? Oh, come on. Hurry up with the ad. 10 seconds worth of ad again? For fuck's sake. You want me to watch these videos? You need to stop putting ads in them, people. Oh, fuck off. Alright. Screw it. You may remember Ty Emery, the bare knuckle fight champion competitor who went viral for showing her chest after a knockout victory against her BKFC after a knockout victory in her BKFC debut earlier this year. Saturday night, she's on the co-main event of BKFC Thailand 4, and despite receiving a hefty fine for her celebrations the first time, she says she might impulsively do it again. I will be in trouble, I will be fined. The last I heard, it was $500,000 to $1 million baht in Thailand currency, so I don't know what the conversion is in US dollars, but yeah, 100% have been warned and told it's a no-no. 1 million baht equates to approximately $29,000 US. It's a hefty fine, especially considering what the biggest names make. See? She had a good time. She won, she flashed the crowd. Then again, after her reveal, she apparently had over a 6,000% increase to her OnlyFans. Promotion and marketing. Which would make such a fine little less painful. Well, yeah. 6,000% up in her OnlyFans? Are you kidding me? She could cop a $29,000 fine if, like, that would literally take, what, 1,000 people at $29 a month. I mean, yes, most of them charge, what, anywhere between 5 and 12, so hang on, let's do the math. 29,000 divided by, say, 5. If 6,000 people signed up to her OnlyFans as a result of that, the fines were is already wiped. I guarantee, flashing your tits after a fight on fucking international TV, you're going to get more than 6,000 people signing up to see them. Let's see if we can actually see this video again, or if they're going to make us watch another friggin' ad.
Welcome to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Ty Emery.
Interesting celebration right there by Ty Emery. You haven't seen that one yet before, but look at that uppercut right there. And then followed by a clean left hand. Kunchai did a good job of having that high tight guard blocking a lot of those punches, but that one right there when Emery hit that uppercut and then that left hook, that they both landed clean.
Damn.
That was it.
All right.
Oh, Kwong, welcome to
There
Bare
it
Knuckle
is.
Fighting Championship.
There we go. That's what we all came to see. Okay? So she did that. She had a massive uptake in OnlyFans. She's not going to give a rat's ass about that fine. Are you kidding me? Winter Soldier approves. You want to train with her? She wants to be the bad girl in the room. There's nothing wrong with that. If men show their chests, why not? Exactly. Got to find the naughty pics. It'll only take a few seconds. Well, just head over to her OnlyFans. Make sure she keeps doing it, because the more people pay for her OnlyFans, the more frequently she's going to actually do it. So, alright. TV stars golden rule. Okay. I'm hoping this isn't Nadia yet. That's Nadia and her husband there, but that's not the point. Equality, yay. Exactly. Boobs and blood, oh yeah. Ooh, okay. We've got someone impersonating Flux. Lovely. But seriously, if you don't change it to what the Flux, just to make fun of her, it really irritates me. Oh, anyway, moving on. Good fight, good view, me more money. Pretty much. We have a champion. Yep. Okay. TV star's golden rule for having best sex in long-term relationships. A woman who has been with her fiancé for 12 years has shared a simple tip she swears is behind the pair having the best sex of their lives. A British TV presenter who has been with her partner for 12 years. Bravo. Bravo. 12 years. It's a long stretch. Has revealed how the couple keeps the spark alive in the bedroom. Jenny Powell, 54, describes her sports therapist other half, Martin Lowe, 48, as chiseled from Mount Olympus. Well, I'm sure him being attractive enough that she wants to climb him like a tree has nothing to do with it. And the pair, who currently have a sprig of mistletoe hanging in their home, hanging up in their home, should they fancy a festive kiss, have revealed a secret trick behind their healthy sex lives. The intimate side of our relationship is still going strong. Martin loves my energy, and he's extremely patient and very understanding. I strongly believe that you have to keep making the effort with each other, or it's a slippery slope. And my number one golden rule for maintaining intimacy in the relationship is don't have a TV in your bedroom. Much, thank you. And thank you for the super chat. UFC chick is in the meat market. Do not do it, people. Do not do it. Fuck, instead of watching TV. What a fucking great idea. Mm-hmm. Slippery slope. It's a slippery tree. 2 turtles and a snake in your bedroom. Yeah, dude, you gotta get those turtles into your into the tank in your anyway. Oh. Yeah, I can see why TV might be a distraction. Personally, I feel I would pass. Jenny, who has 2 daughters, Connie, 21, and 14-year-old Pollyanna, from her marriage to millionaire businessman ex Tony Beckinsdale, also said their sex life... What? Their sex life at 50-something Someone did not proofread this. Also, she also said that their sex life as 50-somethings is the best it has ever been. Sex in your 50s gets better and better, she said. Let's face it, when you know someone so well and you've been through so many journeys, it's just the best way to relax and enjoy each other. Martin popped the question in New York in 2014, 4 years after bumping into Jenny at a popular British sandwich chain, Pret a Manger, in London's Euston Station. And it's been easy to see how he maintains his physique. Yeah, okay, ladies. If he still looks like this 12 years later, there's only one way she's keeping him around. When she looks like that. Rhea Ripley. He does strongman training and pulling and pushing tyres and all sorts of deadlifting. He does cold water swimming even in February. Heaven forbid if he stopped looking after himself and got a body like Boris Johnson, I'd have to kick him into shape. No, you would kick him to the curb. Jenny is hoping that ripped Martin makes the most of the mistletoe she has positioned tantalisingly over the kitchen door. We haven't had any for the past couple of years, but this year we have. I put a big branch of it over the kitchen door and we'll see what Santa brings me. Crabs. That's what Santa will bring you. In my own personal opinion, he has to have a side chick. I know I'm lovely, I don't care. I approve of a celebration. Stay engaged, no TV. How are they going to watch home porn? Short men have more psychopathic traits, study finds. Just a few months after being hailed as the man every woman should date, new research has uncovered a settling truth about this bloke. Okay. Seems like only yesterday we're heralding the arrival of the short king spring. Women took to TikTok to propose that tall men had dominated the dating scene for too long, something was in the air, and that something was the reign of males less than 5'8" in stature. If it was good enough for Zendaya, it was good enough for the rest of us. Short king status is, more than anything, a state of mind, if you will, an openness to everything that life at a slightly lower altitude has to offer, which can apparently be a lot, Kylie Chuang wrote in a recent article for Jezebel, in which she pondered what exactly makes a short king a short king. Short kings embrace who they are and who their partners are. They treat everyone, including themselves, with respect. Like big dick energy, the short king's height only compounded their magnetism. On top of which, the Journal of Sexual Medicine found they enjoy more frequent sex and are 32% more likely to divorce if they're under 5'9". Really? Oh, sorry, less likely to divorce. But if we've learned anything in 2022, it's that cancel culture comes for all of us in the end. How the hell was that racist? I was trying to pronounce her name properly. I'm 5'2", so most of you are taller than me, I bet. If you're about to embark on a search for a short king of your own, know that it may come at a cost. A group of Polish scientists have found that short men may actually be evolutionary hardwired to what is known as the dark triad of personality traits associated with more confrontational behavior. No shit. For the unversed, these include psychopathy, lack of empathy and antisocial behaviors, narcissism, self-centeredness, and Machiavellianism, manipulation and indifference towards morality. Yes, apparently Poland has scientists. Our study provides the first assessment we know of how the dark triad traits relate to height and height attitudes, the researchers wrote of the study. Oh, they studied 367 men and women. Yep. That's some hardcore research right there. We showed that not only are people high on the dark triad traits less satisfied with their height, but this may be because they're actually shorter. This led us to believe, too, that the behavioral syndromes on the dark triad traits may be part of a suite of psychological systems designed by natural selection to better enable those of shorter stature a way to still compete with life's great challenges. What? That's a lazy excuse of a focus group? Yeah, damn straight. What an absolute joke. While shorter women can use deception to appear more desirable or to gain protection and resources, the scientists did not see the same link between the dark triad of personality traits and their height. The research was rooted in investigating the so-called Napoleon complex, named after the allegedly 5'2" leader who sought power through aggression and was mocked by British newspapers for his height during the French Revolution, and found that myth was grounded in truth. I'm 5'9", Excoma. I'm well aware that I'm shorter than most, but I'm still taller than Attorney Tom. They theorise that when a person is not physically formidable and does not have an intimidating presence, they have to impose themselves in other ways, becoming psychologically formidable instead. Lead author Monica Kozlowska from Poland University of Wrocław said. Appearing more powerful may in turn make other people perceive them as taller than they actually are. Shorter men with traits such as psychopathy can use them to demand respect, impose costs on others, and impress romantic partners. We propose that psychological formidability may provide advantages in survival and mating domains that offset losses in physical formidability. In short, whoops, if your man's smaller than 172, he might be more Patrick Bateman than Prince Charming. Sorry, Tom Cruise. Okay, let's get on to Nadia's thing of the week. Let's see what this broad has come up with this time. I'm sorry, that was very sexist of me. I shouldn't be calling her a broad, given that I'm not actually 100% sure where her pronouns or... I don't know. I don't know. This one annoys me. We all know this. Yeah, because it was such a robust study group. Yeah. Bizarre sex rule women do that needs to change. There's a shriveled lime in the bottom of the fridge that I refuse to throw away. It's a keepsake from what was and remains the best first date of my life. I don't want to implicate anyone, but it might have been swiped for an unattended bar fruit bowl as a tongue-in-cheek gift after a conversation about margaritas, a crime that may have led to a rendezvous back at my apartment and some very hot sex. Nearly 5 months on, I'm still having hot sex with the same person, who incidentally is now my partner. Way to dox her. According to popular dating philosophy, my relationship is an anomaly because sex is still treated as a weird draw card for women to strategically withhold to secure commitment. It's not surprising we rarely see this attitude applied to men. It's rooted in perpetuating slut-shaming culture aimed at sexually disenfranchising women. Okay. A key that opens many locks is a master key, yet a lock that is opened by many keys is a worthless lock, we are told. Within this framework, women exist as objects valued exclusively for their sexual viability to men, and men hold the power to animate women to life by choosing them. I'm sorry, what? A woman holds the power to decide whether or not she uncrosses her legs or not. She was weird then and now even weirder. I feel bad for her. Well, there you go. Talk show host and creator of the 90-Day Rule, a program centered around the philosophy women who wait 90 days to have sex are more likely to end up in a relationship, Steve Harvey famously claimed that men think of women as either sports fish or keepers based on how quickly they give away the cookie. I have the power to animate you. I choose you, Pikachu. We men are very simple people. If we like what we see, we're coming over there. If we don't want anything from you, we're not coming over there, period. Leave the double entendres to you guys. Harvey writes, suggesting men interact with women solely for the purpose of attaining sex, and sex is therefore a tool desirable women can use to manipulate them into relationships. This would be comical if it weren't a frighteningly pervasive idea continued to be peddled by so-called dating coaches since Harvey's book was published more than a decade ago. And it's not only male dating coaches disseminating the make him wait propaganda. An increasing number of women are peddling it for them under the guise of female empowerment. Oh, nope. Nope. In a recent post, influencer Eleanor Rossi, who goes by the Yoni Empire on Instagram and calls herself a female libido specialist, writes, "Sex on the first date is dangerous if you're looking for a relationship. If the sex is great, then you're now officially wearing your hormone pleasure-infused pink glasses," Rossi goes on to explain, before seemingly comparing women to dogs. Classy. It is very hard to see rationally you're going to be too busy creaming your panties and slobbering. While it's true that sex, particularly the orgasmic kind, does offer a temporary boost to the feel-good hormones dopamine and oxytocin, the insulting premise women are rendered incoherent afterwards, presumably on account of having an inherently fragile disposition, is pure science fiction. Dust the book off. There is no research to indicate that there's a major difference between the way men and women's brains respond to sex. Our obsession with creating rules around how and when people can have sex and who they should be having it with, particularly as applied to women and queer people, isn't rooted in science. It's based on a culturally constructed definition of sex that conflates physical intimacy with morality and regards women's morality in particular as something we should police. The real danger here isn't a made-up phenomenon whereby women are spontaneously unable to access logic after sex, as Rossi wants. No, that's the bloke. Because generally we are passed out or there is no blood in our brain to be thinking. It's fear-mongering. It's fear-mongering them into believing their entire value resides in their sexual currency to men, while treating men as incapable of viewing their sexual partners as complex, multifaceted human beings. And this article lost my interest with the social justice warrior bubble talk buzzwords. But she's using yoni eggs. Now that racism and homophobia are out, media is pitting women against men and vice versa, trying to divide the people. If you're fall for it, you're an idiot. Not disagreeing with you. I do, however, disagree that racism and homophobia are out. I think that that's going to come to a bit more of a head probably sometime early next year, frankly. I think there's some things that are still boiling away in the background. Assessing logic after sex. Men know this phenomena as post-nut clarity. Trying to upload a video of me being a badass on Twitter, but it is hard, oh so hard. Complex, multifaceted human beings. Don't talk about my sex bot like that. Men and women have different hormones. They have different hormonal responses. Sounds unsafe. Most social science stuff is laced with and drowned in social justice warrior jargon. Giggity! The animal comes when they hit the spot. Sex isn't something which can be neatly defined and regulated. It's an innately personal act with a myriad of meanings and expressions, and consequently there's no right or wrong way to have it, provided it's safe and consensual. If someone is genuinely open to commitment, they won't be thrown off by your timeline, whether that means waiting till you feel comfortable to get it on, or jumping into bed on the first date. So throw away the rulebook and do it on your own terms, though, and I say this because I feel ethically bound to do so, try to avoid committing fruit theft on the way. Okay, gents, this one's for you. How many of you would be willing to get Botox injections into your pecker? Just a little prick. Men who struggle to get it up can now get Botox injections for their willies. Scientists found the anti-wrinkle jab helps blokes stay stiff between the sheets. Like leaving without returning the pineapple. No, because her fucking Her partner stole a lime on their first date and gave it to her as a gift. So she was being a smartass. I think I'll shove something in my pee hole before I stab it with a pokey stabber. I take it you enjoyed the whole sperm stopper thing that we were talking about last week. They named the treatment Bocox and say it works by relaxing the vital muscle inside the penis, boosting blood flow. It succeeded where Viagra had failed in some men, as the blue pill is not always effective, but a single dose of Bocox banished erectile dysfunction for 6 months in nearly half of patients. Dr. Charles Runels of the Cellular Medicine Association said the procedure combines the best methods so that patients who receive Bocox enjoy the greatest chance of enjoying better sex and stronger relationships. I can't. Every time I read that, I'm trying not to giggle. Bocox. Alabama-based Dr. Runel said the procedure is safe and uses a similar amount of Botox to face injections loved by celebrities like Simon Cowell. Have you seen Simon Cowell's face? There was literally a news article last week that said that his face looked like it had been melted. A study by Cairo University found it gave recipients a significant improvement in the bedroom. 40% of the 121 men given the jab saw it cure their erectile dysfunction. This is in no way medical advice or misinformation. Fuck off YouTube. They went to being completely unable to have sex to regular lug making, and the side effects were rare. Wait. Out of 121 people, there were side effects? Let's scale that up. Okay. How prevalent were the side effects if it was 1,000 men? The study also found men who received the injection saw their member measure up to a centimetre longer after 6 months. Okay, I think that's the end of the article. We got anything else interesting here? I think I've already got the poker player. Oh, maybe I don't. Should definitely open them. Well, that changes everything. Extra what? Quarter of an inch, guys? Do you think it'd be worth it? Cow's face ain't the one you strive for. Damn, of course not. They probably couldn't get it down. Get it up for longer than 4 hours. They give you another shot to get the pecker to go down. The two dudes who took the needle, a melted cock, women getting secondary Botox injections. You got Botox and migraines? Did it help? Gonna double your size with that shit. Okay. I've had implants fitted in my cheeks. Trolls say I've totally ruined my face. Sweetheart, that's not trolls. That's just regular people saying that. Great, my dick's gonna look like Sharon Osbourne's face. Okay, I'm gonna open this just for the sake of it, but that's... That's horrifying. Like, the boobs don't make anything... The boobs don't make it better. Woman who had implants fitted in her cheeks has gone viral on TikTok for a unique appearance. Really? There's anything unique about this? The woman who goes by Just Queen 1998 on the social media app has been inundated for comments about her looks. Mind you, her friend doesn't look much better. What the hell is going on here? Where is this? The social media star from the Ukraine has more than 1 million followers on the app and received 20 million likes on her content. Social media star... Gotta stop using those words. The crazy person on the internet often reports bright pink hair, but her... Well, so often sports bright pink hair, but her cheek implants have everyone talking. She jumped on the viral TikTok dance trend from the new Netflix show Wednesday and caught the attention of many, but not for her dance moves. The video went viral with over 400,000 views as she posed in front of the camera. I wonder why this shit went viral. God damn it, you used that but not the vampire lady. Wait, I just doxed myself. Yes, you did. What if it flops on one side? I have questions. Pass, hard pass. Yeah. Jigsaw from Saw. Is that the cheekbone look that Amber Heard was looking for? Dunno. You're always saying freaking rock on the seafloor was proof of aliens. You're not going to make any alien comments about this? No, because we know that she's just a nut job who's done this to herself. You seen her before? Please, no more ghosts are okay, but this shit. Oh, fuck. You guys are funny. Bet she looks fabulous in a 69. I don't... moving on. Moving the fuck on. Alright. Where's the video on this?
Love it. Alright, sashimi, come on.
Oh, you fuckers!
Please. I'm looking away from the screen right now. Are you guys?
Smalling.
Sashimi, come on. Please.
Just move the camera already.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I was putting the bloody anyway. Glamorous poker player suffers repeated wardrobe malfunctions in game and is slammed for distracting players. As if that wasn't her fucking intent. Yeah, no, I don't care. I just want to pause that. Okay. A poker player hilariously suffered a wardrobe malfunction during a game, only for it to turn out to be a prank. Sashimi, who is also known for her exploits on YouTube, was taking part in a live stream event called Max Payne Monday. Yeah, there's no way it was a malfunction. No. Totally on purpose. Like it gets worse when she leans over. Yeah, there's no way it's a malfunction. During the game, she appeared to suffer a nip slip while competing next to her opponents, and the poker commentator on the game swiftly picked up on the awkward moment. He can be heard saying, Sashimi, please, come on. I'm looking away from the screen right now. Are you guys, Sashimi, come on, please. However, it turned out that she was actually wearing fake prosthetic breasts as part of a joke aimed at to creatively distracted competitors. That's not a prank, that's cheating. But those online did not know that it was a ruse when they reacted on social media, with most people seeing the funny side. One person said, it's actually a really good strategy. Did she win? It's one hell of a distraction. Did she win any hands? We'll certainly find out. And the third respondent, that's what we in the poker business call a tell. Hustler Casino owner Nick Verrucci was also impressed by the skit. He said, pretty sure that's a bodysuit / gag, but fucking brilliant, had me fooled. But fellow owner Ryan Feldman expressed regret at letting the prank go ahead. In hindsight, I wish we knew that Sashimi was doing that, and that might happen. Didn't know until it happened. I wish I'd vetoed it. But most people will find it entertaining and innocent. Innocent? Really? Even though it might be in bad taste and definitely unnecessary. Wow, you beta. Stray near a table and get attention. Throw her out by her tits. I did it? As in, what? You got your tit out or you got the video up? Either way, congratulations. Sorry, Flux, that was rude. Why are they censoring prosthetic nips? Because someone might get offended. It would violate the... actually, I really hope this isn't going to violate the nudity thing. I mean, it was blurred, so I think we should be good. But, yeah, that's some bullshit. Sure, a breastplate, that's commitment. If they're fake, that's funny as fuck. Oh, there you go. Looks like she's going to whip out her tits to try and distract me, then I'll whip out my dick and distract her. Fair is fair. Strip poker is always fun. Be offensive. Yep. War on offense, people. We are taking the war back to the people. Didn't know about it in advance of what was going on and that could happen, but not sure it's a big deal. Either way, we care a ton about poker and want to grow it a lot. I promise you something was growing at that table. I guarantee it, boy. I was going to say mate, bloke. I don't know where the fuck I was going to go with that. Ever since the tit-gated Janet Jackson. Yeah, okay, so it's one of those ones that you can get for cosplay and that sort of thing. Okay. Fez enough. Oh shit, I just lost everything, man. Moving on. Alright, why people are worried about Indonesia's strict new laws on sex. Few Australians realise just how conservative Indonesia is while they're living it up on Kuta Beach. More than 1 million holidaymakers travelled to Bali in 2019 to enjoy its open beaches, warm weather and cheap facilities. For some, it's partying all night in a school is rite of passage. Others see it as an exotic wedding destination, or a quick and easy escape to celebrate a significant event. For many, it's the only affordable foreign holiday destination. But Indonesia's undergoing an identity crisis. The predominantly Sunni Muslim culture is grappling with its place and role in a global economy, and like many similar nations, the world's third largest democracy is taking a harsh turn towards authoritarianism. The world's third largest democracy? Indonesia's the world's third largest democracy? Gonna have to fact check that. The crackdown on sex is just one of Jakarta's draconian new measures, and it's not entirely about religious conservatism. New far-reaching anti-blasphemy laws prohibit insulting the president, government officials, and police. Yeah, not sure I like that. Speaking out could land you 4 years in jail. Did you notice she was gambling? I had no idea until Hayden mentioned it. Essentially, there are a whole lot of provisions in the code now that seem to contribute to the decline of democracy in Indonesia, says Simon Butt, Professor of Indonesian Law at Sydney University. This allows public and private figures to silence legitimate criticism through threats of criminal prosecution. Holiday sex bans are nothing new, nor are fragile politicians or religious zealots. Qatar fined a Dutch tourist $1,000 and jailed her for 3 months in 2016 for adultery. She reported being drugged and raped. Her assailant was given 140 lashes, also for adultery. Saudi Arabia used to insist couples provide a marriage certificate before allowing them to book a hotel room. It still punishes public displays of affection, and all non-marital sex as well as LGBTQI relations are illegal. What is new is the arrival of such bedroom policing at Australia's closest favourite getaway spot. Here is Bali's bonk ban. Relations between Indonesia and Australia have rarely been better. The East Timor crisis is behind us, as are the Bali bombings. I don't know, it's 20 years on. People still remember the Bali bombings. The execution of Australian drug traffickers is history. And the tip for trade boycotts are a thing of the past. Okay, this is some pro-Indonesia bullshit. Blasphemy. Contemptuous or profane speech concerning God or a sacred entity. They are literally calling themselves God's equivalent. Moving in reverse just like Iran did. Instead, annual meetings between the two nations' defence and foreign ministers maintain constructive momentum. This has resulted in increasingly common joint military and police exercises and operations and friendly diplomatic relations. But a new crisis is potentially one inopportune moment away. Current Indonesian law only prohibits a spouse from having sex outside their marriage. But under the new criminal code, all sex outside a religiously sanctioned marriage can be punished with jail for up to a year. Even staying together in the same apartment could lead to 6 months behind bars. While new laws do not exempt foreign visitors, Indonesian authorities say provisions will make Bali bonk ban unlikely. No, I'm sorry. If you've got it on the books that it's a crime for someone to have sex outside of marriage, that's a crime. You can't say, oh, we're just going to waive the crime for foreigners, but it's still going to be there. That just provides, like, that's not okay. That's literally an opportunity for them to exercise it at their discretion. That's not how the law works. Either accept it, enforce it against everybody, or remove it. This is what and this is how I know that they're not sticking to the religious convictions, because money is an incentive for them to avoid it. But there are fears that the laws could lead to extortion. Let's say an Australian tourist has a boyfriend or girlfriend who is local, says human rights researcher Andreas Harsono. Then the local parents or the local brother or sister report to the tourist to the police. It will be a problem. The LGBTQI... Okay, they just swapped that around, because the Q was before the I before. Community will fare no better, says former Indonesian parliamentarian Eva Kusuma Sundari. The punishment for extramarital sex and cohabitation can potentially be used against homosexual couples who do not have the right to marry, while the criminalisation of obscene acts in public can also be used to target the LGBTQI people. The cultural clash cuts both ways, particularly for Bali. I am very, very worried because I really depend on tourism, a tour guide called Yoman told the BBC. The Gulf War, Bali bombing, volcanic eruptions, Mount Seramu volcano, Mount Rinjani volcano, and then COVID, Bali tourism is easily affected. No shit. Why do people expect other countries they visit to change their culture for them? That's not what we're saying here. Bali and Indonesia are basically saying we're going to change our laws and culture as it applies to tourists because we want their money, but we're still going to impose these on our own culture. That's sort of like where it's weird for me. Like, they want to make sure that the money keeps flowing, but they want to keep imposing this, like, extreme religion on their own culture. That is just, like, weird. Either give up the fucking money or give up the law. Law is a law. Tell that to those damn Americans. If the laws were applied equally, governments will run afoul of themselves. Yeah, that's true. Just no money could get you out of a lot of things. Look at AH. True. They want their cake and eat it too. That's exactly what it is. That's legitimately what it is. President Joko Widodo has issued frequent and passionate appeals to political parties and presidential candidates not to mobilise religion in support of their 2024 election campaigns, writes retired Lieutenant Colonel and former Australian Institute of International Affairs ACT branch President Robert Lowry. Holy crap. That's not even going to fit on a business card. Everyone's equal in the eyes of the law except politicians, cops, and rich people. Whether this will neutralise the potential for religious polarisation and force candidates to focus on programs and pragmatic issues remains to be seen. Jakarta has significantly stepped up its anti-terror operations since the rise of ISIS in the Middle East in 2015, but influential community leaders continue to push for the creation of an Islamic State or the implementation of Sharia law in Indonesia. So far, Aceh is the only province to enforce the punitive religious code. Religious freedom is protected under Indonesia's constitution, but Jakarta only formally recognises six religions: Islam, Protestantism, Catholicism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Confucianism. While followers of Sunni Islam make up 80% of the population, Indonesia is home to 245 native religions. Many of these are simply ignored. They have 245 of their own religions within the actual set of Indonesian islands. But no, Islam's the way to go. We recognize these other six as actual religions, but we're just going to ignore everything else. Despite the fact that, a good chunk of the country still believes in other things. Sounds about right. I'll never go to a Muslim country as a woman. I don't agree with how women are treated, but it's up to the women to fight for change or live with it. Every Indonesian is asked to declare their religion, but only of one of the approved 6 when issued a national identity card at the age of 17. They must then study it at school. If they don't actually practice it, they are jailed for blasphemy. The state actually enforces religion. What did I say yesterday about low IQ cultures taking over instead of integrating? Can you guys stop? You're gonna get my channel yeeted. And marriage contracts made outside the 6 are not always recognised, but such overbearing blasphemy laws are also a potentially political weapon. For example, Jakarta Governor Basuki Tjahaja Ahok Purnama, who is a Christian, was jailed in 2017 after implying Islamic leaders were using a Quran verse to restrict their followers to only vote for Muslims. Indonesia has been warned by numerous reports, including Democratic Index 2020, of its democratic decline and that the country has been labelled as a flawed democracy, says Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta international relations expert Faris Al-Fadhat. The fallout of the bug and the looming 2024 Indonesian presidential election means the political situation will remain unpredictable. We have seen alarming trends like the increasing involvement of the military in civilian matters, ideological division, as well as an increase of restrictions on the freedom of expression. This was supposed to be about the sex ban. Why are we talking about religion and... You cannot attack the honour and dignity of the President and the Vice President, the Criminal Code states, and you can be jailed for spreading Marxist or Leninist teachings. Now, Indonesian business leaders fear tourism won't be the only victim of the new criminal code. Foreign investors increasingly suspicious of authoritarian and religious states, and that won't help the country bounce back from its pandemic woes. On the surface, Jakarta is promoting its policies as necessary to ensure political stability for corporate investors, but one recently fell foul of the country's highest court. While the job creation bill was praised by big business, it has been criticised by academics and activists for its controversial and authoritarian tendencies. This includes weakening the civil rights of women and indigenous workers and easing environmental protections. Several high-profile corruption scandals are also causing embarrassment. Yeah, I'm moving the fuck on. I'm a little bit pissed the fuck off, honestly. I'm a 71-year-old dominatrix. Men of all ages seek my services. Some pretend that they're in trouble in school. Better? At least their president isn't groping 12-year-olds. A strict septuagenarian has made her personality into a living, and her patrons have some specific requests stemming from childhood. She shared a wide range. She shared the wide age range and interests of the men who seek her services. A whipping bench. Sherry Lever is a digital content creator and dominatrix under the professional name Mistress Sophia. Her TikTok alone has garnered over 15,000 followers and counting under the handle Sherry Lever, many of whom are openly subservient to her. She recently appeared in a podcast which was posted to the social media platform. What's the most common thing that men come for? Singh asked Lever. To be honest, I couldn't put my finger on it because everything is popular. For example, I do a lot of roleplay and I make a very good headmistress. I'll get some of that they come to reenact their school days. So it's usually older people who come and want to do the schoolroom thing because they were caned at school. 71-year-old Dom Granny. I'm going to need to see A's on that report card, otherwise I'll be forced to... Ah! Bet she puts her finger in it, though. My mum just came over, her first Kinky Corner experience. Right. Whereas the younger ones want to be on the whipping bench, she said. Back to school, read the cheeky caption of the interview clip. Viewers of the Risque chat expressed their views for Sherry in the comment section of the video. I just want to be friends with her so bad, one wrote. That was so unexpected, said another. She's so iconic, a third wrote. Right. Fuck, I hope not, Val. I asked her not to. All in the wood. Grandma put her strap on it in my butthole while she was dominating me Christmas Eve, you can say. Ooh. Live chat. Okay, this ought to be interesting. I'm a hot cop but wear low-cut tops when I'm off duty. Men are begging me to stop and search them. When one police officer posted pictures of herself in and out of uniform, the comment section were flooded with admirers. Really? I'd call her a 6, maybe? Maybe 6.5. Sandra Rose Calzone is a police officer who posts clips of her life on TikTok, including snapshots from her patrol car. In a series of recent videos, Calzone gave followers a peek behind the curtain and a sense of her casual off-duty outfits. First, she posed for selfies in uniform, smiling with a necktie in one picture and standing laden in tactical gear in another. The next clip featured a glimpse of her civilian wardrobe. She smirked, batted her eyelashes in a low-cut, long-sleeve top, as well as a tank top and a hoodie combo that displayed a hint of cleavage. Gorgeous in and out of uniform, one fan wrote. The rest of the commenters agreed with him. Simps. Wouldn't know how to act if this woman... What? Wouldn't know how to act to have this woman... To have a woman this... They really censored the word damn. D****N. It's got to be damn. Beautiful by my side, another admirer said. I committed a crime, arrested me, a man joked. Another one wanted to be stopped and searched... I've never wanted to be stopped and searched so bad in my life. Don't swear. Her eyes are so beautiful I didn't even notice she was a cop at first. Several men were willing to join Calzone in her work if it meant spending time looking at her gorgeous blue eyes. Can you take me a ride along? A polite gentleman asked. That would be fun. And several men said that they were already on the way to becoming officers themselves. One said he'd recently taken the entrance exam for the police academy, which earned him well wishes from Calzone herself. Good day to pass my polygraph exam in the hiring process, another proud commenter said. Careful, Granny might wash your mouth out. Ugh. Don't even want to know. Well, why are there so many, like... How are there so many articles about hot cops? I'm a seasoned office hot girl. I hate wearing bras to the work. Okay. Self-described seasoned office hot girl has shared with viewers ways to expertly get away with not wearing a bra at work. She delved into details on a popular TikTok video explaining many circumstances women should or should not wear bras under their tops. We need more hot cops. That's how we get the guys to join the police force, semi-hot girls. Betsy says this is one of many outfit inspiration videos full of different ensembles for different events. Much of her socials contain a bit of style, corporate talk, and mindfulness. TikTok videos. No bra, always no bra. In the video, the corporate employee is simply sitting on a couch as she talks to the camera and explains why going braless at work is such a hot topic. The conversation came up with her boyfriend, who didn't realise she was at her workplace of employment without a bra until she said something. Betsy then takes the opportunity to lay out some tips on which tops are the best to wear without a bra and which shirts need one at all times in the workplace. Form-fitting tees and tanks wear a bra, always. Okay. On the flip side, she added that if someone is wearing an undershirt and then a flowing overshirt over the top, or simply a bralette, then you don't need to wear one in either circumstance. If you're wearing a flowy t-shirt, you should probably wear one just in case, because the material is pretty thin. Yeah, okay. Hot to trot. I'm fat. Trolls always put me down, but I love dressing up in hot outfits. I'm proud of my body. Alright.
Well, I am a beast. They must have been tripping to...
People come in all shapes and sizes, and plus-size model Sam Page is owning it. The plus-size social media model is giving herself a pep talk to not let any negative contents bring her down. I would argue she's not plus-size. She's moving into the BBW section, in my own personal opinion. She has 3 million followers on TikTok. Recently shared a video of herself dancing her bad feelings away in a hot outfit after being subjected to body shaming. In a recent post, she told fans how she lifts her moods when trolls get her down. She says, "Me, right after I wasn't feeling good about my body, but I put on a hot outfit. After putting on a black outfit in a crop top and a strappy miniskirt, she lip syncs to the lyrics, 'I'm a beast, therefore they must be tripping to let me off the leash.'" Okay. Alright, hang on guys. What I'm going to do, because I am... Where are we? Oh, we're already 3 hours. Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, okay. I'm going to skip over the wide article about how the future of sex ed is on the internet and move straight into sex position of the week. Mind the bump. What is the speed bump position, and does it actually provide more intense orgasms? We get it. Sometimes the idea of sex seems great, but after a long day, it can be a lot of effort. This might be the perfect position for you if the thought of an energetic romp isn't what you had in mind. The speed bump sex position is easy to master and promises intense pleasure without risking a pulled muscle or having to commit to an intense workout. It's a perfect option for lazy women, but how exactly do you do it? It's a bit harsh. Basically, it's a simple version of doggy style. It involves lying on your stomach with a pillow underneath your hips. You can relax while your partner, who is kneeling, enters from behind while holding your hips for support. One of the great things about the intimate move is it allows couples to get closer than the traditional doggy style, according to Metro. Meanwhile, the focus on the woman's G-spot from the positioning in the pillow also makes it much easier for a climax. Your partner can either remain with his torso upright or lean over your back for extra intimacy. It's a bit sexist. She could lean over with the strap on. Try playing around with variations of this position if you want to make it up even more. Oh, that was a short one. Well, there you go. The speed bump. Give it a go. Alright, guys. I'm going to get out of here, do some work and whatnot. But thank you very much for joining me, as always. Now, I should have actually fixed the audio on this one. So. Alrighty, let's have a look. Yes, I think we have audio. Love the glow. Alright guys, as always, please, just get out there, try and do one small thing, make the world a little bit of a better place. Even if that just revolves around self-care for you. Okay? It always matters. As always, stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, and I will catch you on the flip side. Cheers, guys. Also, time providing, I will be doing the first of the Aussie current affair today, tonight videos tonight. I have yet to decide which one we're going to cover, but keep an eye out for it. I'm assuming most of you guys from the USA will be asleep, but should be a good time for the Aussies and the people over in the UK who will probably be just waking up. So, keep you posted. See you guys. Where's it? There we go. Hey guys, just a quick thing as well. I'm going to push you all across to Winning Reality. He's trying to get around his shadow ban, so there will be a redirect. Very, very shortly. Yep, redirect's already saved, so I just need to save that and then end the stream. Yep, that should be fine. Okay.